I'll be gone, I'll just keep singing. And I'm just gonna keep on singing. And I'm just gonna keep on singing, babe. I'm just gonna keep on, I'll take it to my grave. Oh, I'll take it. I'll be a slave for this as long as I live. Said I'll be gone. This is my turn. This is the God. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy. And skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love. Please don't take my sunshine away. 'Cause the other night, dear, I heard you sleep. I dreamed I held you inside my arms. Oh, and when I woke, dear, to see that you want, how I held my head and cried. Y'all sing it. You are my sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You never know, dear, oh, how much I love you. Please don't take sunshine away. Please don't take my sunshine away. You guys sing so good, thank you.
Desperate is the one whose love is jaded, shaded by a taller wall of dark, and nothing seemed to leave you wanting
in colder weather, we could barely speak. Say the words. Oh, and now I see that we were of a different feather. We were flying free and pretty bird. Yeah, well, darling, we were stuck in colder weather. We could barely speak. Say the words. And now I see that we were of a different feather. We were flying free. Pretty bird, pretty bird. Pretty bird. You were my pretty bird.
Aniversario 99, fue el lugar donde Rita Montaner le propuso a Ignacio Villa Bola de Nieve que se convirtiera en su pianista acompañante. Los más famosos visitantes muestra hoy que con su apertura en 1908 se convirtiera en el hotel más lujoso de La Habana de entonces. Él nos cuenta con su anciano y gran refugio esta This life is almost over, but our love has just begun. And your traveling companion eternally damns you. But oh, what a ride it'll be. You're gonna ride that motherfucker till it's done. Keep listening to your la 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 la, my devilish friend. La 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 la, my devilish friend. And I believe while I'm kneeling, I keep praying to a God I can see. I believe while I'm near, someday somebody figure out just how to pray for me. This is when you hear the voices of angels, hearing these four walls nice and safe. But just when they're coming, it's fire and brimstone. You never mind it, you look good in crimson. crying out. You better get right with your maker. La 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 devilish friend. La 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 la. I'm devilish, and I believe while I'm kneeling, I keep praying to a God I can't see. I believe while I live, someday somebody figure out just how to pray.
Close that curtain behind you.
Yeah. I'll close the curtain behind me. Don't you worry.
Were we just hearing the left side of that song or something?
I don't know.
Because I didn't hear the guitar riff. Do you notice that?
It didn't. It actually wasn't. Oh, damn it! It actually wasn't in the beginning.
It wasn't.
No, it wasn't in the beginning. Hello, everybody. Happy Tuesday to you. Hope you're doing well. My name is Logan. That's Justin over there. And we have a special guest coming on tonight. Very excited for. You guys should be too.
Real soon.
Real soon.
I was sitting on my headphone wire.
Oh, not your leg.
My legs too. That's why I got all messed up.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, yeah, we do have a special guest, as many of you will know by the name of the stream. It's already kind of like a secret thing.
Yeah.
Pumpkin Potion, our friend of the channel.
Right
Pumpkin
here.
Potion.
Pumpkin Potion in the house tonight.
It's coming up.
Let me see if I have to turn her up.
She's got to unmute.
And you got to unmute.
Dude, you were supposed to.
Oh, I was supposed to fucking queue, dude. I was supposed to queue.
Never again, Logan.
I'm horrible at queuing.
You don't know that.
I didn't get the cool.
Logan, I swear to God, Logan, I told you. I told
oh,
you.
Yeah. I thought I did that.
No.
I didn't
Yeah.
argue.
Well, you announced you were supposed to be like, unmute.
Oh, damn it. Oh, damn it.
It didn't work out as
It's okay.
planned. What are you
You'll
gonna do?
always
It never does.
But you'll always remember that. Next time, it won't happen. You'll be like, remember the last time when I didn't say unmute?
And this is the reason why we're the Risky Biscuit Band.
Yes,
Is because
we take risks.
Yeah, we take risks.
You do it live. You take risks.
We do it live.
Most of the time.
Fucking Bill O'Reilly over here.
I'm fucking doing it live, dude. Yes, the one and only, the wonderfully talented Pumpkin Potion in the house.
Very animated.
Very
person.
animated. Thank you.
Animated.
I took a lot of care in making sure my ink was settled just right and my pencil lines were perfect.
Mhm, that's high quality
Yeah.
pens used on that.
Thank you. It
I
is
used the,
2024. I'd like to say that we have some Bics in the house, you know.
Okay.
Hey,
I used the Micron 08s.
Oh, you fancy out here.
I find that the Micron
You
08s are good.
fancy.
Just for lyric writing, really. I'm not even doing any, but they glide. There's a glide to them.
Yeah, he has like a block format that he writes in. Me, I'm a scribbler, so I don't like pens ain't my best.
Freeform.
Yeah,
He writes in jazz.
yeah. I
Nothing wrong with that. I have that hybrid cursive thing. Remember, like they used to teach in schools. They're like, oh, you gotta have cursive, and then I never used cursive. And
Never.
actually, one of my teachers used to get really bent out of shape because I write my F's backwards, like a French 7.
okay.
Oh.
They used to, yeah. I don't know if you guys had any old like handwriting stuff that your teachers used to knock you off for, but that was mine.
I feel like I have a half cursive style.
There's a part of it that's
Yeah.
half
It
cursive.
depends on my mood, honestly. My handwriting changes all the time with my mood.
So you're like having like a really bad day, you can't put a set together, and you're like,
Yeah, I'm like scribbling. Sometimes the thoughts are just too fast. I'm just like, just gotta get down on paper.
Yeah,
And sometimes I'm very thoughtful about my words. I'm like, what word will be next?
I constantly have to do like a meditation while I'm writing, just because if I don't, I'll start to like speed up, and all of a sudden I'm just like, and then I can't read what I wrote.
it loses the flow.
Yeah, like, my brain starts to catch up.
Yeah, I'm trying to flow with it. Anyways,
Not good.
your ink especially looks good. It's probably better than this Micron. And we're just glad to have you here.
Yes.
Certainly, this is
Thanks.
this
Thanks,
is a
that's cool.
this is a we've never had an animated person.
A
On.
VTuber. We've never had a VTuber
never happened.
share
I'm
like.
your first VTuber. You have any idea how cool that is?
See,
what an
that-
honor.
Well, we
Yeah.
have a
What an honor.
friend.
It can only happen once.
Yeah, it can only happen once. We do have a friend that is a VTuber. She's in the chat right now. Degenerate Daycare. She has been a long time friend of ours here, and she's also a VTuber as well.
Hey.
And so yeah, but she definitely told me about you, and then of course when you had posted about us on Twitter. That was the first time that we had ever had any sort of attention like that. Where
We were honestly trying to get.
It's
We were trying to
wild.
get people
It's
to
almost
talk
like you're
shit to us.
good. It's almost like you're a good band, and I want people to hear you. That's wild.
That's amazing. Thank
crazy.
you.
yes, it is
Wow.
very
But
amazing. Thank you.
we used to only encourage people to talk trash to us on Twitter. Mm-hmm. And but
I mean, if you want that too, we can arrange it. I'm just saying.
I'm just saying that
like-
we every time we'd be like, all right, let's come talk shit to us on Twitter, like be mean to us, like say terrible things. And it kind of people would be like, like they couldn't really. It wasn't
Yeah.
nothing too mean.
it feels bad. You know
It
what I mean?
does feel
Like,
bad, but
it,
Twitter feels bad.
Twitter feels bad. Twitter feels bad.
So
But it's like the joke flow. You want somebody to kind of cajole with you, a little bit
Yeah.
of banter back and forth. But then the rest of us are like, that's mean. I don't
Right.
want to do that.
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah,
you
we
know.
we encouraged it because we realized that we were so used to people heckling us in the real world that we needed
Yeah.
we needed some sort of heckling in the internet space, but nobody wanted to give it to us.
We
Nobody-
will allow a lot more, I think, just because we're so good. We're like, oh, hell yeah, this will be exciting. Somebody's coming at us.
Yeah, somebody has something to say about us. Let's go.
We got this, man.
And so when we saw
Yeah.
your post, we were like, somebody said something nice about us, dude. Like real nice.
Yeah, it was nice.
Which post was it?
The one where you sang backup for Hotel California.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That was fun. Because I like you guys' version of that song. So I was sitting there and I was working on some stuff, and I had you on the monitor, which I usually do, and I was like, working on it, and oh man, they're doing Hotel California. That slaps nice. And you get to this one part where you guys kind of rolled in at that exact spot, and I was like, oh, I know what that needs. So I just I pulled it, I clipped it, and I'm just glad that you guys enjoyed it.
No, that was
I think
amazing.
That's really
Yeah.
cool.
So-
I think it's really cool.
It was cool to find out that you sang so well because you sound great, and you obviously have
Oh, thank you.
a bunch of videos up. How long is singing and like? What did it go hand in hand with art? Has it been like a whole life thing, or like when did you start?
Oh yeah, whole life thing.
Yeah.
My parents actually were professional DJs and also musicians. So everybody in my family plays like 2 instruments. They all sing.
Nice.
Dope.
And it was really cool because when the family gets together, we get to just jam out. We all play an instrument, and we'll just do 4-part harmony just off.
Nice.
And so I started in music really young, like really, really young. Started playing the piano when I was, I don't know, 5, 6, somewhere around there. And it just stuck. Parents encouraged it, and they're like, let's go. and ended up in my brother's band, and we played out for a number of years. And then, of course, my brother got sick, and so now I'm just like, I don't like my day job. I'm gonna quit and be a cartoon on the internet because that's cool. Because that's what you do in your 30s, right?
It is cool. Well, we're doing this in our 40s. Logan just turned 40.
I
so
just turned 40 last month.
So you got plenty of time.
Yeah, you're doing A-okay.
I'm a little closer than you think to the big 40.
I just turned 43 the other day on
Nice.
Saturday. So I'm
Happy belated.
I'm sailing into the middle. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
But that's cool. My family's the same way. They're all musicians. My mom and dad like met in a band. In fact, Logan comes over for Thanksgiving, and we all sit around and play John Prine tunes.
Every Thanksgiving.
Yeah, as soon as dinner's done, we're like, "Well, get the guitars out." And we
Yep, this past Christmas, because I hadn't seen my brother in a while, because like I said, he'd been sick, and so we hadn't seen each other. And he was like, well, I don't know if I'm going to make it over for Christmas. Our family, like me and my husband, we host for Christmas. And he's like, well, I don't know if we're going to be able to make it, this, that, and the other thing. Wife's doing this. And I was like, if you can make it, cool. If you can't, whatever, don't worry about it. He shows up out of surprise. And then I was like, oh, nice. And then he brought the guitar with me. He brought the amp. He brought everything just tucked in the back of his car, because that's what you do. Like when you're in a musical family, your bonding, your entire hangout session is just, dude, let me grab the guitar, you sit in on the piano, I'm gonna grab bass, whatever it is that you got, and you just sit in and you play.
It's that family band
That's
scenario.
your thing.
I mean, it's like it's entertaining for everybody who's there who doesn't play. It's entertaining for you who is playing. It's just it's just everything you want. It's a concert. You're just like, hey,
Exactly.
let's put on a concert real quick.
It's
It's
like
fun.
a jam session, just a chill time.
It's the best. Honestly, when we started Risky Biscuit band, it was something where I was like, had been playing in an original band for a while and decided that I just wanted to jam with my boys in a more relaxed atmosphere. When we were young and we were playing, we would just get together and just play whatever. We just play all night in a room. Just
You're learning at that point in
by
time, and the
ourselves.
only way that you can do it is,
And that's
the best way to do it is with other people at that
and
point in time.
it's just such a
Right.
pure feeling, though. When those are your reasons for doing it. And I kind of wanted to recapture that, really. And I was like, do you guys want to just do a regular gig on a Sunday night at a bar?
8 years later.
By
eight
the
years
way,
later.
so anyway, from bar to Twitch.
We didn't rehearse. We didn't do anything. I just got all my friends and
Still don't rehearse.
brought them up on stage, and we learned every song that we know on stage.
Now,
We
you
did.
guys,
That's the point.
do you guys read music, or do you play by ear as well? What's the deal?
We don't read
I s-
music.
Yeah, we don't
Yeah.
read notation, but how we do the band thing is Rashad, the bass player, Justin, and I have charts that we use through an app on our iPads called OnSong, which is like a chart. It's a chart.
Oh, I haven't heard of that one.
Holding one, but it does, like, you can put notation in it through like a copy paste sort of thing, but OnSong basically is just your basic chord structure, and the best thing about it is that you can use Safari on the iPad to like download the charts, like are on Ultimate Guitar. You can just download the website as a text file, so it just gives you the song information, and I basically just upload that and then send it out to everybody, beam it out to everybody's iPad that's in the room.
That is way easier than how we used to do it. That is
Yeah,
way easier.
Yeah.
This is the
We used to
easiest
have
way
to
we've
do
done
out the
it.
whole lyrics, and then we'd be making notations about, okay, that's like an E flat, and then it switches out to like, I don't know, an A major, like whatever the case is.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
we would have the books, what
Right.
I'm talking
I was
about,
about to
like
say.
the,
Yeah, the
That's
books.
what I was about to
The
say. It was
books?
always books.
the
Yeah.
books.
You're like, oh, we got a book.
We had the books, so
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
always the books with like the little sleeves and stuff, and
Uh-huh.
yeah, and you'd be tracking those things
So
around. They'd be
this is-
15 pounds.
I had two books,
This is a new
one
book.
for A through L and M through Z.
Yeah. Oh God, that takes me places. Yeah,
Yeah.
it does.
You had to have them though. When you're going out and like, because we'll go out and do cover gigs that are 3 hours long. It's like
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, you guys played at TwitchCon too.
we did play at Twitch,
we
not
did.
the last
Yeah.
one, but the one before. Yeah,
Yeah, obviously not this year.
that it was the
2024,
first.
but-
It was the first one back after COVID, wasn't it?
I think, well, the one where they had like opened
Maybe?
it up to a lot of people.
Yeah, 2022. I think.
But we went out there. Yeah, we somehow finagled our way out there with our friend Danny, Human Juke, 81. And we get out there and we're trying to figure out how to play the longest set we can at the best time, and the convention shuts down like right at 6:00. Everybody's got to be out of there
that early.
Yeah, so
That's weird
because they opened it at like 9.
Yeah, that's way too early. Like if you're gonna go play somewhere out at night, shutting down at 6 is usually when gigs start.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
that's weird.
Well, but the thing is, we actually got a better. The first one we got was like Thursday at noon.
Yeah, they wanted to put us like early,
and then
oh no,
through-
like
through a
people are
st-
still gonna be sleeping, dude.
I was
Like no one's gonna.
I was like noon. No, it was Sunday at noon. It was like the last day or Saturday at noon.
Oh, that's even worse.
Because then I
That's
couldn't even
worse.
I couldn't even party the night before now because I had to get up and play at noon.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
then
that sucks.
at the
That's
last minute, we got like a good set, like a late set on Friday.
And it was on Friday night. We were the last set, and we started rocking it and just doing all kinds of like crazy songs. And then people were literally chanting encore, and the people at Twitch or their representatives were like, "No, you're done." And everybody just encore, encore. So we played another song, and out of nowhere, we're playing Rage Against the Machine's Killing in the Name of, and we're at the fuck you, I won't do what you tell me part, and we're looking around and we see nothing but security guards surrounding the audience and
they
us.
wanted you out. Yeah.
Just
That's funny,
tick-tocking.
dude.
It felt good. Yeah,
It did feel good because at the end of it, even though they were mad, the security guards were like, "You guys sounded good."
Yeah,
and we were
hey.
like, "Hell yeah."
Yeah, like you have to take a little piece of, positivity away from them having to do their job.
Security guards
Yeah.
are just cogs in the machine, dude.
Yeah.
They're just like they're in it like we are, man.
always
It's
better to
They're
ask
just
for
here to do their
forgiveness.
job. Like
Yeah.
they're just here to do what they're told
like,
to do.
I get paid minimum wage. Like, fucking, what do you do?
This is a con, my
Yeah.
guy. This is
So,
not my
but
9 to 5.
But we
Yeah.
haven't been asked back since, so we don't know if that was like a.
It's only been one though, so it's not like
Just
it's
saying.
like a history of not being asked back.
I wonder if that's because of the security thing, or
No,
I
who
mean, I
knows?
can't imagine any other reason.
No, I mean,
No, it
dude,
was.
they wouldn't get off the stage. We're not inviting them back.
I think we determined after like kind of going out there and seeing how it really is laid out. We figured that I think next year or this coming year when we go, it'll be like Justin and I, and we'll just go and sit in at people who already have stuff like kind of set up, because Justin and I can lead several songs like no problem, as long as we have like a solid rhythm section behind us. The two of us can handle pretty much any situation.
Yeah,
so.
that's like my most
Yeah.
comfortable spot to be in.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, oh,
Yeah.
I got an instrument. Cool. Wait, this should be fun.
Yeah, we're both very into like the reason
We'll do
Justin,
it live.
We'll do it
Yeah.
live.
The
Do it
reason,
fucking live.
live.
the reason
yeah.
Justin and I even paired well together was because we are both into jamming, like literally just like holding on to one chord and letting the other person solo, and then kind of trading off and into those sort of like I'm weaving this song into the next song into the
Yeah,
next
you
song.
guys have a really good flow with that. Like even when you're between songs and you're just kind of shooting the shit and joking around, you'll go off on these moments that just make me laugh sometimes because you'll just be jamming with something. Like one of you will be hanging out, and then all of a sudden somebody else will join in and be like, "Oh, that sounds like this," and then next
Yeah.
thing I know, you guys are singing Blondie.
Yeah,
you were
that's
just
true.
playing Metallica.
It's
Like, what
100%
happened?
true. That is a
You
very
just do that, and
it's a very
but that's
common-
a sign of a good musician, though. Like that's the sign of somebody that knows what they're doing, that can hear those tonal changes and can
Yeah.
understand, the chord structure of what fits and what doesn't, and
Yeah.
that's not something you can teach. You either know that or you don't.
Yeah, there is a certain aspect of it that I think you can get better if you jam more, and especially if you're doing it with the same people, and
Right.
you start, then you really start to know their cues and like what they're going off of, and but just being able to pick stuff up, having an ear seems to be somewhat genetic, I think, at some point. Like
Yeah.
sometimes
I
like
agree with you. I think it's one of those things that you can't teach. Like
Yeah.
you can give an idea.
it's like an
but
intuitive thing.
It's intuitive, exactly. Like you just kind of. I don't know how to explain when I sit down at a piano and they're like, "Hey, have you ever played this song before?" And I'm like, "No, I've never played it," but then I just do.
Yeah.
I just pick a key and I just go, because you can hear it. You can hear it in your head. You can hear and understand what it's supposed to sound like.
Yep.
and then you just
And I feel
put
like
that into motion. If
I
that
feel like
makes
there's a
Right.
couple ways to get there. Like you can,
Yeah.
I guess, sit down and like study intervals. You know, which-
Yeah, like I
but-
mean, your ear training is important.
but
you know,
Yeah, yeah.
me, it's like being able to just pick out a harmony real quick. You know, that's kind of like
Yeah.
you know, that kind of thing. Like, oh, okay, I know what the main melody is. I can just do a harmony with it real quick, and your brain kind
Yep.
of knowing
Third
that.
sounds good. This doesn't. Maybe we'll drop it down to a fifth.
Right,
Yeah.
and can
Type
you
of
ju-
thing.
and I for me myself, I'm a huge like 60s music fan, and there was nothing but harmonies back then. Every
Yep.
song just had tons of harmonies on it. It was like the Beatles and the Beach Boys and all sort. You know, that was so. I feel like maybe part of the reason I'm good at it is because I was just inundated with that music for so long. My brain's like, this is what happens. You do a harmony. If I write stuff, everything has a harmony on it.
Same.
Yeah,
If I'm doing any a cappella work, if I'm doing any kind of anything, even like cover songs, just doing instrumentals, karaoke, whatever, if I'm recording any of that, there will be harmony lines when they're in the original is not harmony lines because
Right.
I need that. It just
Logan knows
sounds
I do
better.
this.
It sounds better.
It sounds
It's just
better. It's all it is.
It sounds better.
It just sounds better.
especially if you can hit something that's unique in its like unique to the performance. You know, Justin and I, we when we first one of the first harmony songs that we did together was Lisa Loeb's "Stay."
Oh, that's a
'cause-
good tune.
Because I knew
That's a
how to
good
play
song.
it, and the key that we did it in, he was like, "Oh, I could sing harmony on that song the entire way," and that was like what kind of
I
started.
actually just assumed there was a harmony on it, and then
you heard it that way?
Then
But
after
there isn't. Isn't it just like
no,
a
it's
single
just
melody
her.
all the way
yeah,
through?
it's just her. But I
Yeah.
have now. I just have. I think for like a couple years I did it, and then one day he was like, "There's actually no other harmony," and I was like, "What?"
Mm-hmm.
So it just be kind of come part of like that song for me. But
Yep,
it
I feel
is
that.
fun. It is fun. You know, it is fun to sing harmonies. That's
And-
all I give a shit about.
And so that's how it would be kind of like if we had folks that came to sit in here in the studio, like when we have like a special guest come in and sit in with us. I'm able to put these charts together to where you're just getting the basics of the chart, just the chords, where the lyrics kind of lie, and that's pretty much it. And so that's the reason why sometimes we can go off script with the jam, or we interpret it another way, is because it's not really something that we're reading. It's just like a lot of the times a lot of these songs we've been playing for so long in the bars that we play them
It's
as
just up
particular
here
way.
at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think
Yeah.
the question is, when are you going to come jam with us?
That's the deal.
Well, I mean, I'm all the way up in Maine, so I mean, unless
we used to play in Maine
we used
all
to
the time.
play in Maine.
We used to go. We used
whereabouts? Whereabouts?
Mosquito Island.
Yeah, near Mosquito Island.
But where
Where
was
the
it?
hell
Where
is
was it next to
Mosquito
though?
Island?
So if you went like 2 hours north of Portland, it was on the
Okay.
coast.
On the coast, past the Big Lobster.
I can't. Yeah, past the yeah. What was that place?
Because
called?
now you're talking like my neighborhood. That's like the area of where you're talking. So I'm like,
Oh, well, that's
Oh,
where
really?
we were.
Yeah, there
Well,
was.
wasn't it-
have you been up here before?
We used to go up
Because-
every year.
Yeah.
Because this family would
The
hire
hell?
us for all their parties, and they would pay us very well and fly us up to Maine.
Are
Maine,
you serious?
rent us
For
a truck,
real?
and then we would be on like this compound
It was
where they
yeah.
would buy like somebody be out there with like a pizza oven that they built on site, and like
It sounds like some Maine behavior. Yeah.
they were real rich.
I think they had at least 4 houses on the compound, tennis court, basketball court.
yeah, sports. They love sports.
Yeah, it was like right there on the coast. They had like a party house, and then and everybody in the town knew who this family was.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the town was
Yeah.
so small. Like you're like, oh, I'm
They're-
staying here, and they're like,
A
oh
lot
yeah,
of
we know
towns up
them.
here are, but then you have, like the big cities. You got like Portland and Bangor and stuff like that. But when you guys were like, oh, it's like 2 hours out of Portland, I'm like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
straight north.
really?
Yeah, straight up
Because-
north. I can't remember. There was like there was the restaurant that has the largest lobster roll in the world.
No, it's just a Big Lobster roll. It
was
never,
just-
it never made any
Bar
of those.
Harbor,
Never-
Booth Bay Harbor.
No, it's
Sound-
like
I was saying,
it
that sounds right
Taste
to
of
me.
Maine.
Taste of Maine.
It's called Taste of Maine. They have a giant lobster on the
And Logan, every time we'd go there, would stop and eat a $100 lobster roll.
yeah.
Okay, but have you had the lobster ice cream though?
I don't know what that's about, but I want to know what that's about.
Okay. Okay, so there's this place in Bar Harbor. It's this old style candy shop, and they've been around since like the 30s, 40s. It's like a generational shop. They've had it for a long time. But Bar Harbor is like a huge tourist area, like the big boys. So you get a lot of yachts, like international yachts and stuff that'll stop there, and they'll drop off tourists for an afternoon, and they will just walk the shops. It's very, very old fashioned, very cobblestone, you know, everything's local. But this shop specializes in like chocolates, homemade ice cream, everything from scratch. So the story is basically that they were trying to figure out kind of a hokey jokey, like what can we give the tourists because it's funny. Like let's do an ice cream for the memes, but it's 1950. So they're like, well, you know, Maine specializes in lobster or whatever. So like, well, you know, let's cook up some lobster. Let's pan fry that thing and like shove it in the ice cream and see where we get. They did it as a joke. It wasn't supposed to be good.
And it took off?
Oh no.
So they served it. Yeah, they served the thing. And then the tourists started coming in. They're like, this is good. What is this?
What?
And they're like, what do you mean it's good? It's good. And so now this is like a big thing. So tourists will come deliberately for this lobster ice cream.
Have you had it though?
And it's just, have I had it?
Yeah.
I had it once.
What did you think?
It's not bad.
It's not bad.
It's really,
Okay.
it's really not that bad.
It seems like one of those things that you would be like, and then you eat it and you're like, well.
Yeah, it seems like it would be disgusting, but
Yeah.
like it's actually pretty okay. And
What-
it's
what-
just it's
is it like chunks
lobster.
of?
Yeah, it's fresh lobster, and they fry it up in butter, and they like chunk it
Yeah,
up.
it's just
you know?
chunks, huh?
And
Crazy.
And they put it in buttercream ice cream, so you get that salty sweet thing going on, and then
okay.
they freeze it.
Yeah.
It's making sense.
Yeah.
It's making sense.
So then, but yeah, like you'll see people with just like a lobster claw just out of their ice cream, just sitting on the bench, like.
yeah.
But the whole
Ben
thing
and-
started as a joke,
Ben
and
and
now it
Bill's?
just stuck. Ben and Bill's, that's it. Yeah, Ben and Bill's.
Chocolate Emporium.
That's it. It's like a tiny little hole in the wall, but people love that
well,
place.
now we know what we got to do next time we go up to Maine.
Next time.
We should call them up. We
Yeah.
should call them up and be like, hey, when are you going to hire us again to go to Maine?
Well, they moved. they moved to Atlanta, and I told you I saw her at John Mayer when Katie and I
Yep.
went to see John Mayer.
Yeah.
We
this
would
lady
we
was-
would play like her kids' graduation parties. We would play birthdays.
She hired us for all kinds of stuff. They
loved you guys, man.
They were very wealthy people.
Yeah, yeah.
Extremely wealthy people.
It was their house down. It was down in Columbus, Georgia, and when you pulled up, you're like, this is a mansion.
Uh-huh.
You're like, this is. It was like one of those things where you're like, this is not just like you walk in. It's like, oh, this is kind of a mansion in here. It's like you look at, it, you're like, that's like a mansion.
It was
That's
it was
what you're
built
supposed to
by
look like.
it was built by Henry Ford.
It was built by Henry Ford.
Fucking Henry
A
fucking
lot
Ford,
of the houses
dude.
up here, you're either gonna get something that's like people like me that live here year round because I don't know why. Apparently, we like negative 40-degree winters.
I was gonna say,
And then you have the people that just like roll up because they have their fifth or sixth house, and it's all like a $3 million estate or something,
Mhm,
and they have to have another house up here. And those are the only two you're gonna get. You're gonna get that or the really rich people with 9
Right.
houses. Yeah.
Yeah, well,
So you lucked out. You got one of the,
the
rich
system
people with
works.
the,
Yeah.
the $9 million houses.
Yeah, that's what it was. Well, those are the only
That's
people
funny.
hiring musicians to come play their parties.
and we've met them at a barbecue
From out of
spot.
state, no less.
Yeah, well, no, they.
Well, their first home was
In Georgia.
in Georgia, but in like South Georgia, and
Yeah.
they enjoyed going to the Atlanta United soccer games when the Atlanta United was like kind of popping off, and we happened to be playing a duo gig at this barbecue place next to the stadium, and they were in there eating, and the lady gave Justin her card, and Justin was like, I think you need to hit her up. And then I was like, nah, man, you go ahead, you reach out to her. And when he did, she was like, name your price.
I was like, I will.
Really?
And he did, and when he
That's
did,
wild.
It was funny because when I told Logan like what was going on, I was like, "This is the time, Logan."
yeah, this is
I
that
was like,
moment, Logan.
we
Lo-
strike now.
Logan would have felt so bad. He would have been like, "No, it's okay. We'll do it for this much."
Yeah.
And
But-
I came back. I was like, "Yeah, we're gonna get this much." She's like, "What?
Yeah,
What are we doing?"
and then when
she,
we got,
she didn't negotiate or anything.
She-
You just like
Nope.
slapped the price, and she was just cool.
she
with it.
goes, "Sounds good."
yeah, she said,
Wow.
she used to hire contestants from American Idol. like the people
For
that
real?
yeah, like people from the top 10. She would find out who was their booking agent. She was like, I've hired so many people from that fucking show, and you guys like, she was like, never change your rate for me, and I will hire you all the fucking time for every party.
Oh my god.
And she paid us even more to go up to Maine.
They doubled
Oh
the
yeah,
price.
I mean you got to pay for the trip and
Well, they paid
you know,
for all the. They paid for the entire
lodging
trip.
and all of that. Like that's not.
Well, they did
exactly
all that
inexpensive.
and then
Yeah.
still paid us more. Like they paid for everything, and then also.
Oh my god, you guys got the hookup. Oh,
It was
gosh.
the hookup. It definitely was the.
That's
I
sweet.
wish that we they were still around.
We
I wish
told
that-
we
Yeah,
play-
because if you were coming up to Maine, I'd be like, my guys.
Yeah,
let's-
let's-
Oh, no,
let's
for
chill,
real.
let's
we'd be
hang
jamming
out.
for real. Yeah, no, they would fly us up there for free, so it was pretty cool.
That's cool.
So did you grow up up in Maine? Is that your spot?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so
Yep,
that's
born bred.
Nice.
Yep.
That's cool.
Yeah, we're both.
Left for Florida for a while, decided I didn't really like having swamp ass in the middle of winter and went back up north.
It makes sense. I mean, it is Florida.
Yeah.
We're
It
not
is
very
Florida. Was down
Yes.
there for a while and then was like, nah, this ain't for me. We're going back up north. Thank you very much. We out. Peace.
That's why I like Atlanta. It gets like cold in the winter, but not too cold. It gets hot in the summer, and then you get just great spring and fall.
Yeah, spring and fall is
It's the
like
foothills of the Appalachia, baby.
No, you only come up here if you really like moose or just black ice or just want to freeze to death. Like you don't put anything out naked that you're not going to get back in again. Like that's the general rule, right?
I know
You
Logan's
know?
trying to go over there for those blueberries.
Yeah. I didn't realize that it was the blueberry capital of the world, yo.
Oh,
'cause
yeah.
Holy shit.
Blueberries and lobster, and if you like either of those, then you're pretty much in the right spot.
Yeah.
What was the restaurant that we went to, the breakfast place when we were waiting for the airport? It was in Portland. It was like
Oh God, please don't say something gross.
Annie
We have a lot
Mae's
of
or
weird.
Oh, I don't know.
Aunt Mary's blueberry pancake
Oh,
house.
that
or
must have
something?
been like a local place. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
I
probably
got it.
some local place, but
Yeah.
but Maine was really cool. Like we've had a good time every time we went up there.
Yeah, the
I mean, I
weather
know
was-
that our situation was pretty good, but I
Yeah,
have
you
fond
kind of
memories.
had it wrapped up when you came up here. You didn't really have to
I didn't
worry
have to,
about any
I
of
didn't have to
that.
like survive on the streets or anything.
We didn't have a hard time getting home. You know what I mean? Everything was fine.
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
Yeah, no, that's pretty cool. So yeah, so you've been up there, and then you just like grew up musical family.
Yeah.
When did the whole like getting into graphic design and doing and video
Oh, yeah.
video games and stuff? I mean,
Yeah.
that's a whole arc.
Yeah, that's a huge. Okay, so I went to Florida and then I came back and then I was like, I don't know what I want to do, right? Because you hit that point in the young life where you're like in your early 20s, you're like, I don't know what the hell I want to do. I'm just floating along. So then I sat down, I started applying for different positions, and I had already, gotten all the education that I cared to get. And at that point it was like, what do I have to lose? I'm really interested in design, really interested in social media, really interested in analytics and trending stuff. And so I ended up seeing an application for a company, and they were like, yeah, we're looking for a community manager. And I was like, yeah, that sounds right up my alley. So I put in an application and they loved me. And they were like, yeah, we really like you. Come on board. So I ended up working for this company for 10 years.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Like I worked for
A
this
chance
company
meeting.
for a goddamn decade. And then I ended up during that time period, I worked for EA Games, I worked for Ubisoft, I worked for DNA Nintendo for a while, Cygames Japan. Like I did a stint pretty
awesome.
much
Holy
everywhere.
shit.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And worked myself up the ladder to senior level community manager and social media manager. And so then I had a different teams of social media managers underneath me working on different games, and I'm sure a lot of them you've played. And so anytime that they were launching a new game or, they weren't sure, well, we don't know how to build a community around this game. I mean, we're making the video game, but how do we get people to know about it or like it? That's my job.
Right.
So at that point, that's when you start using all those Photoshop skills and you start using the video editing skills, because you have to create all of that promo stuff for social media to be able to
Right.
promote the game and the developer work.
So just one thing
So that's all
fed
me.
another, yeah.
So I ended up doing that, and then things got a little spicy. I don't know if I don't want to bring it up because it's pretty heavy, but like the I'm sure you guys heard about like the blizzard situation that went on.
Oh,
Maybe
yeah,
you did, maybe you didn't.
I absolutely remember that. Yes.
Yeah. So that was about the time for the same reasons why I dipped out. And I was like, we're
Oh.
done. We're done. I'm gonna take my stuff and leave.
Yeah,
And
that was a real. That was
heavy.
You'll have to forgive me. I'm brand new to this whole scene. So, but you don't have to. You don't have to explain
yeah,
it.
we won't go into it. We'll just say that the higher ups, the exec levels, were doing some very uncouth things
Toxic,
to the employees.
toxic work culture.
I'm sure that
really bad.
I'm sure
Really
that
bad.
off camera, Justin will fill me in because, as you all know,
Yes, Justin
Well,
can fill you in.
I know.
I don't know
because
the
it's
internet.
rough.
I'm internet lit.
Yeah.
But so that's when I kind of pieced out, and I was like, this clearly isn't healthy. At the
Right.
time, they had me doing 13-hour work days, because I was picking up slacks for other projects. I was also doing voice work because I was doing like voice acting for some of the games as well. And this was all on the same salary, and they just refused to pay me extra for it.
Yep, that's
So I
the,
was like,
that's
you
the
know what?
nature. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I was like, we out,
Yeah.
I'm gonna take my creativity elsewhere. And
That's great.
now I
Fuck
just
then, yeah.
decided to go, hey, I have all this creativity. I have musical ability. I've got 10 years of social media and community management under my
Mhm.
belt. What do I do with it? Well, why don't I use it for myself?
Yeah.
Because now it's mine now. I don't have to use it for other people, for corporations to get their gain or what have you.
Right.
So then I was like, fuck it. We're going to be a streamer.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I did.
And so,
You know?
so at this point, you're going, okay, this is a whole new chapter. About to
Yeah.
do
Yeah,
it.
we just started fresh.
I put my 10
Yeah.
years into the workforce. I'm out.
That's right. That's
And
right.
then so this inevitably led you to VTubing, huh? This was like this. When did the concept for being like because I mean honestly, it's one of the most impressive streams I've ever seen.
I love it. I love it. It is.
Yeah,
It's the coolest thing. It's so cool.
I have showed your channel off to so many people and been like, dude, check this out. Look how cool this is.
I appreciate that. I
Like,
put a lot of work into my
I mean,
hardware and into my presentation and such. So I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Honestly, the attention to I'm an attention to detail guy, and
Yeah,
the attention to detail is fucking awesome. Every time
Thank you.
I
Thank you,
watch
dude. I
it,
appreciate that. I appreciate that so much.
yeah, it's just like it's something that it just looks so good. It's so congruent. I mean, everything.
It really does flow in such
Yeah.
a natural looking way that it. I
mean,
if you're not like once again, if you're not used to it, then it's just like wrapping your head around how it works. The longer that you watch it makes it
It's
so
wild, isn't it? Yeah.
yeah,
Cool. It makes it so cool.
But even just the design and everything, obviously,
Thank
like
you.
just that aesthetic and like
Yeah, your aesthetic is super
that-
original, very cool.
I want to do something that was a little bit different than, a lot of what you see on the table. And
Mhm.
I'm an older person. I'm a millennial, elder millennial, as I say, I guess. And I wanted to bring something new and different to the table because when I started looking into VTubing, which the reason I started to anyway, I'm pretty comfortable with myself, and I think that a lot of people think that when you're a VTuber, oh, you're just wanting to hide your face. You're just, you're ugly behind that. It's like, no, it's not it at all. But it's nice to be able to have people know me. I'm a disabled person. So, a lot of times when I would face cam or I would do things because I used to have to go to conventions and things like that for my job, people would be like, "Oh, you look tired. You look sick. Are you okay?" And, you get tired of hearing that when you're somebody in my position. You get tired of hearing like, "Dude, you look sick. Are you good? You need to go see a doctor." It's like, no, my face just looks like this, dude.
But like, who says that?
Yeah,
You look tired. I'm tired of hearing your
I'm
shit.
tired of hearing your
People
fucking
say
mouth. That's
that.
what I'm tired of.
It is the Wild West out there. Like people say shit like that.
I do realize when I go out more that people are fucking crazy. They
Yeah.
will say literally anything without any sense of tact.
Oh yeah,
Like,
100%.
whatsoever.
So, I get to not only present myself in a way that's fun and entertaining for other people, but people look at me as me and not as, oh, well, she's sick, she's chronically ill, she's disabled, what have you.
Right.
And it's nice to be recognized that way, as a person rather than,
Mhm.
oh, well, Are you okay? Do you need to sleep more? You need to drink a water? Like
Yeah, it takes it eliminates those that whole aspect of it.
Yeah, and it does. But whenever I go to conventions or whenever I go and people know me and they know who, hey, it's Pumpkin. Hey, dude, it's not really an issue, but it's also nice to be able to perform in front of like large audiences and then just go to the damn grocery store and nobody knows who I am.
Yeah, of course.
You get that anonymity, you get that privacy a little bit where you can back away from what you're doing and not really worry about it so much.
And also on top of it, it's got to be just fun to essentially just create a whole new world. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's a whole. Is. You're world building here. This is what it is.
So
yeah,
cool.
I had when I first came on to the scene, it was what do I want to look like? Because everybody else is a sea of anime characters, and there's nothing wrong with that, but it's really hard to make a brand for yourself, stand out for yourself when you're just in a sea of the exact same thing.
For sure, yeah.
And a lot of people that aren't really familiar with VTubing or look at that and go, it's just a bunch of Japanese anime girls. It's a little weird. Having a Western style character that's a little bit more Americanized, that's also a little bit of an older person.
Nostalgic,
exactly. You get a little bit of that nostalgia. It's a little bit more comfortable for people to say hi to, and they're not weirded out by it,
Yeah.
Right.
So I ended up going, well, this is the design that I want because I'm somebody that really likes, goth and macabre things. But I also am really interested in animation and art and those old historical animations that you don't see anymore, the old stuff before the digital came along.
Sure, right.
And so I said, how do I mesh that and how do I make it aesthetically interesting for people? So I ended up working with a friend of mine named Akuda, and he does character design and model work. And this model is 3D. I'm wearing a bodysuit with different things on it that allow me to move properly. And I said, well, what can you do to come up with a character for me that will work with the hardware that I have to make this physical? And he says, yeah, give me a couple weeks. So we worked out some pricing and we went from a conceptual sketch to the 3D model and then a rigging body, which we had to put in Blender. And it's a whole process. And then I went to a separate artist, an animator, and said, hey, can you make me not only this entire background, but can you make it animate? And they were like, how much money you got? And I was like, well, let's negotiate some things. So, they designed the plant back here. They designed Vinny, which interacts with chat and all that stuff. And all that was coded. And so everything here, like including the body that I'm using, is completely done from scratch by artist hands.
Yeah,
which
that's so cool.
Is still an amazing thing to me that we're in a space where we can have that type of technology and be able to entertain people that way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you do it so well too, just like
thank you.
just your content in general, as you because I've definitely had you on while I was lurking and doing my own work and stuff, had you on and just listening to the kind of things that you talk about on stream.
Mutual lurking.
Yeah, we had there is some mutual lurking going on. And I think that how you keep things like really positive and rolling, in the conversations that you have, it really is. I believe that the people that do approach streaming in that sort of way make for really just great content that you can, actually like latch on to.
I think it's because we're not quite like that.
Yeah, I'm not like. Yeah. Well, I mean, I have such a soft side. I'm the softer side of Risky Biscuit. So
he's the heart of Risky Biscuit.
Yeah, I would say I'm the heart. Yeah, I'm the lion here.
I'm the resident skeptic.
So no dropping anvils, no dropping pianos on your head during your streams. You're good.
No,
Logan. No, Logan's afraid of.
I do that. I do that to myself.
Logan's afraid of teenagers because he thinks they'll get in pairs and one will run up and kneel down behind him and the other one will push him over.
Kids are terrifying. I agree.
Thank you.
This is like a real.
Thank you.
I'm a child-free person. I can't. What is going on with my body tracking? I'm a child-free. I was like, I'm a child-free person, so like I can't do young kids. They freak me out. They freak me out.
He's more scared. Young kids he's cool with.
Yeah. It's young kids I'm fine with, but it's the teenagers. It's like
I have
anything from 15 to 18.
They're mean. fine.
I have a 15-year-old, and he is a very cool dude.
And they're sassy, but and
It's the age range, you know.
Yeah.
and
It's
if
the
one
age
of them
range.
wants to like race me or something, you know what I mean? It's like they're gonna win, and they're gonna, I don't need that embarrassment.
And they're
It's
gonna
just like,
they're gonna like elbow it in your face. They're gonna like rub it in your face.
or they're
if
gonna,
they
or
want
like
to.
I'm gonna fall, and then they're gonna turn around and run backwards and be like, "What?" you know?
You're like living in a bad 80s movie where there's
Yeah.
just bullies everywhere.
Yeah, everybody's a bully. Everybody,
Yeah.
everybody's trying to.
They have to do the open palm chest slap, like the what, bro?
Yeah, what?
What?
I thought you were gonna run.
Yeah.
That's them, but I don't need that.
Yeah.
I don't need that in my life.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
he's just
Teenagers fine. Like kids really young. I'm just like how old are you? You 5? Oh, you must like keys, right? You like keys?
They
Like, I don't
keys
know
that
how
you
to
like,
deal with
right?
kids. I don't know what to do with kids.
They love keys.
But like, oh my god, I had the most terrifying experience with like a 3-year-old, which is probably why I was in a public bathroom stall in a movie. Like I went to go see a movie with some friends, and I had a keychain on my purse that I'd put on the ground, you know. And this lady and her kid came into the bathroom, and it's like it's a 3-year-old little boy. Who cares? You know, it's not a big deal.
Uh-huh.
It was not a big deal until he saw the keychain and crawled under my stall while I was and I just kind of like lifted my leg and was like no, and like pushed him like with my like toes of my foot back underneath the stall. I felt really bad because I just put the bottom of my sneaker like smack in the middle of this kid's face, but it was just like a gentle push.
He's gonna be
You
like
know,
in his
like,
30s or
please?
40s, like, and he's gonna be like, this memory's gonna flash back. He's like, oh shit, remember when I fucking,
That was embarrassing.
remember when I
I had this really bad dream the
I
other night.
have this reoccurring dream that I keep having. You know, like at his therapist.
There's like this keychain, and like I don't know what it means. Yeah. God.
I
God.
love it.
Ah.
No.
Yeah, so that's the soft. I'm the softer side. Of
Yeah,
Risky
Logan's
Biscuit.
Logan's the softer side.
I
of
get
this.
very I get some fandom going on
He got-
sometimes.
Logan has high highs, low lows.
Yeah, if I have to cruise in the
No
middle,
mid ground is just either one.
He's
or the
no
other.
middle
You're
ground.
just like 100% or
He's
zero.
the least Buddhist you could possibly be.
yeah, it's the reason I have to say so
Noted.
stoned all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I have
Nice.
a pretty I would say I have a very consistent demeanor for sure. For
Yeah,
the most
yeah.
part. Logan and I honestly lived together for a long time and everything. I think we only ever gotten one fight. There's one time when
Not bad.
when we
Not
yelled
bad.
at each other. And then that was that.
But then again, I was changing my ways within the beginning of our relationship. You know, like I had already gone through something that was like completely toxic, and I was making absolutely terrible decisions about who I was hanging out with and who I was, who I was choosing to date and how and why. And it wasn't until Justin showed up at this apartment that I just got kicked out of with the band van, loaded all my shit up off the lawn, and then basically took me to the place that he was living because
Yeah.
somebody let him live there, and she just happened to have a big house, so she went from having no roommates to 2 that were both musicians
Instantly.
that were single in their early 30s. Out there playing music every single night. Yeah, it was a
Yeah, that's an adjustment period.
wild time to say the least.
Yeah.
And I became a tour manager for his band. So
That's true.
because
Yeah.
my band had broken up, and
Yeah, when we were like flying out we did Vegas and LA and stuff like that.
we weren't flying, we were driving
Oh, yeah.
every fucking where.
We
That was
did.
the
No
first time.
way.
Yeah,
Oh,
we-
I'm miserable. I can't do the car ride thing. Like I'm in a car for 15 minutes and my anxiety is already like, dude, I have to get out of this car.
I drove across the country
I can't do
last
that.
year.
Yeah, you did.
I drove from
Justin.
Atlanta
No, man.
from Atlanta to Seattle. I drove
No
across
way.
the country. Yeah, for sure.
No, thank you. I couldn't do it. Like
Yeah. Well,
I spend as much little time in my car as possible. I'll spend a ton of time on my motorcycle. That's fine. But like if I'm in a car, I can't do it. I can't do it.
See, I hate just drive. Logan knows I'll barely leave the house. Like I work on my car more than I drive it. But if I'm on tour or something like that, see, once again, project hyper focus. If I'm like, I have this gigantic drive, I can just do that. Fine.
Right,
but
yeah.
I but I hate just driving around town. Yeah, that shit sucks.
Yeah, I can't.
I don't want to be
I can't
anywhere.
do that.
I don't want to be anywhere in it. But yeah, the big
I
stuff.
do most of the driving for the band.
That is true. Just around town. Logan's driving all the time. He loves it.
I play a lot more performances too. Like I gig, between 2 and 4 nights a week, depending on what the season is. So, and a lot of my gigs are like in country clubs that are around the state, and they're usually like an hour to an hour and a half away from the city. So yeah, I be traveling in Atlanta traffic all the time.
Yeah.
We got to play a couple of really cool places. There was a place that ended up really liking us a lot, and we always would go out there during their 4th of July celebrations. They always wanted us for 4th of July because they would throw this gigantic, massive campground thing, and there was tons of people and spits of pigs, and it was wild.
Hell yeah.
But they always had us come out, and they also had us come out. I think it was like almost after Halloween or something like that. It was late in October, and I remember getting our equipment off the back of the truck, and here we are just hoisting all of this equipment, and we're going like the whole way because it was, I think, something like 40 degrees maybe.
Yeah.
And those are the nights that I don't miss playing out.
Oh
Those are
my
the nights I
God.
don't miss.
So
I have great memories of playing there, but just the in between, the roadie behavior, I don't miss that at all.
that's
I don't miss
that's
the
definitely
roadie.
not the fun part.
No,
it's-
it's not.
Especially at the end of the night at a lot of places that I used to play in my band, we'd be hammered, and then we'd have to pack everything up. We'd be like, can we come pick it up tomorrow? And then we'd talk them into it, and then we'd have to show up at like 10 a.m. just
Yeah,
hungover
to
to
pick
like
everything
get our
up.
stuff out. It was just terrible.
Miserable.
The number
Yeah,
of
that's
cables
not
that I've
good.
wrapped is just in a million
And
by
all
now.
the cable ties and the Velcro.
There's just so much. So what was that? What this was the band that you had with your brother? That you're talking
Yeah,
about?
me and my brother.
What
Me and my brother and his friend and
what kind
and
of
then one
stuff
of
was
his
it?
friends. We did a variety, everything from like classic rock, right? We did a little bit of country, we did a little bit of metal stuff, just a little bit of everything.
Okay,
Y'all
kind of
were y'all a
variety.
cover band, or
Yeah.
did y'all do original stuff?
We did covers. It was a cover band.
Cool.
Yeah.
And so people would just, hey, play this, and we'd be like, yeah, we got that. It's on, yeah.
Hell
we'll
yeah.
play it.
I mean,
I got you, bud.
That's us. That might be why we resonate.
I was gonna say
Yeah,
for
good
sure.
as it could be. It's that same vibe.
Yeah. No, that's
Yep.
just people, just friends doing stuff. Just having fun.
I
Yep.
said, I mean, we need to have like a true collaboration, like something to where we can record some stuff and
We
send
should
it.
do something
You
like
know what I
that.
mean? Like we actually, like, the band records a song for you to like do some backup on and
Or
leave some-
even leads.
or even leads, like lead the fucking song. So
We could just give you the music and you could just do whatever you want with it.
we'll make some video of it.
Yeah, let's work something out. That would be a lot of fun.
All right, Logan.
let's
See,
work
yeah.
something out.
Logan's brainstorming.
I'm putting it on, man.
Yeah,
I'm putting it on.
Logan's trying
I'm
to
not
figure
just
out-
a pretty
I
face
see the
over here.
logistics guy becoming the creative guy. Okay.
Every once in a while,
Yeah.
blind squirrel.
No, we
I'm
do-
going to leave it at that.
Broken clocks right twice a day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bro clock right.
Logan, you didn't say one of those words right by the end there. I'd love that about you.
I started doing other things.
Yeah, no, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So as far as like the music content you do, is this like, I mean, was it always something where you're like, I'm gonna stream, but I'm definitely gonna be putting out music content? Like, is that just part of the thing?
It's like a treat. It's like a treat.
That's
so-
for you. That's for you, kind of, right? You're like, this is
Well,
for me.
me, but also my community too,
Right.
because they know that that I do music stuff, and my preference, like my Excel preference, is usually jazz,
Mhm.
like old style lounge noir, Jessica Rabbit type
sure.
bullshit. So I love doing that type of stuff, and my community knows that I enjoy it. But I just give them little pieces of it every once in a while. So if we're having a really good day on stream, there's
Right.
been a lot of good positivity, good vibes. I'm like, you know what?
Let's
Let's
jazz
go out
it
with a
up.
song tonight. Let's go out with a song this time, and everyone goes, they're all excited
Right.
about it.
Yeah.
So I just kind of give them a little piece every once in a while, and every once in a while too, I'll take the piano out. I've got an electric grand that I just roll over, and we hook everything
Nice.
up in the digital, and so I'll play, one stream a month or something like that, and we'll just sit down and just hang out and jam and whatever I'm feeling. I play a lot of video game stuff. I know you guys know that, but I love video game music when I play piano, and I can just zone out and just
Yep.
That's
play.
kind of the deal with video game music, right? It's like because you're just playing.
That's what
for a
it's
long
made
time.
for, is zoning
yeah,
out.
It's like just that. Yeah, it's like listening to lo-fi stuff. I enjoy doing that.
It's like
Oh,
especially
lo-fi is awesome.
I mean, all the games, there's still great stuff coming out today, but there's so many, games that when we were young, we played for so long, and the music is just burned deep within us.
Bubble Bobble is the bane of my existence. to
Yeah,
this
Bubble
day,
Bobble
because
is
you're
the
never
bane?
gonna remember that. You will never forget it. You will always remember it.
Bubble
It's like
Bobble is
Tetris.
the bank.
Yeah. Tetris is
know?
obviously a huge one.
Tetris,
But I used to do that when I was when we were actually loading up after shows and we had to put everything back into the trailer. I'd be like, It's all the time.
That's definitely what it is
Feels
like.
like when you have one trailer and you have to finagle
fit
everything in there. Yeah.
And you're trying to do it as quickly as possible too. So it's like
You got that one base case that won't fit, so you have to do this and throw it over the
Yeah.
top.
Yeah.
God.
but even
Yeah.
like all the Nintendo stuff, like all the
Yeah.
all the Mario songs and Zelda songs. Of course, Zelda 64, the
I didn't know.
the Ocarina.
Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
that one changed like everything for me.
Mm-hmm.
For me, at least, that was like. It changed everything for video games, but the music was just God. It was everything.
So good.
It's still so good.
You have to forgive me.
Yeah, I
to
ended
me, it
up,
was Tony Hawk.
Oh, it was Tony Hawk for
See,
you?
that was
really?
that because like
But
I said,
that
I
wasn't
didn't-
video game music.
I didn't play video games like that. Like I've just never been that good at video games. Like I don't have the patience for it. If I play a video game, I'm doing it by myself. I hate competition. It makes me feel horrible.
He's not a competitive.
You're like
person.
the one player guy. I have respect for that.
Yeah, yeah.
I respect for
I'm a
that.
one player. Is there a name?
Sorry, babe. I ride solo.
Is there a name for me out there? Is there an internet name for me?
Yeah, you're a solo player.
Yeah.
You're a
Solo player.
player.
Okay. I don't know how
Yeah,
to take
yeah.
that.
It's,
Solo
it's
queue,
people
dude.
that like to they come home from work or whatever, or they just want to sit down on the couch. They want to grab the controller and they just want to vibe.
Yeah, my favorite
just
game to
wanna-
play is video golf.
Right.
They just want like a snack and a beer or whatever, and just sit back and be like, yeah, I'm just gonna play whatever.
I was gonna hit some golf balls.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit some golf
Yeah, just
balls.
gonna hit some golf balls.
Yeah, I'm gonna
No, but-
mosey over
but
here. I'm gonna mosey over there.
I did turn him on to some other games though, because he would pretty much just play golf, and I was like, "Hey man, let me show you this game," and I gave him The Last of Us,
Yeah.
and he was
Oh,
like,
that's a jump.
right, but when he got done, he was like, "What the fuck, dude? That was amazing!" Like it obviously.
I got
Yep.
sucked in because I really the games that I
That
did
first
enjoy.
cutscene.
Oh
Right?
man,
man, holy
every
shit.
time to this day.
Mm-hmm.
But
It
I
is
enjoyed
very
all the
intense.
I enjoyed all the Tomb Raiders and shit. So like
Oh yeah, Tomb Raider's good.
yeah, so I enjoyed playing those kind of games. Like they're kind of like puzzle games
Yeah,
or
sure.
like
Yeah, yeah.
but
I do love puzzle. I almost prefer like 2D puzzle games. Like remember Oddworld?
I remember Oddworld PS1.
God, I loved that game. Like that was that.
Yeah.
The puzzle games are great. I love those kinds of games too. Like that is the
I'm
kind of game you just
surprised
chill
that,
on.
I'm surprised that if you're into that type of stuff, like you're into that direction, Logan, that you haven't played Shadow of the Colossus. That would be one. That would be my
INT to
recommendation
RNT.
for you.
Write it down, Logan.
what is
Yeah.
it again? What's the name of it?
Shadow of the Colossus.
Shadow of the Colossus. What is it
Think-
on? How can I play it?
You can play it on PC. It's an old PS1 as well. But you can definitely find modern copies of it, if you will. Think Zelda, like open world Hyrule horse,
Okay.
but your main objective is to free the land. You have to defeat these 8 gigantic, massive titans, and you have to figure out how to do it. So they're just wandering around. You can do them in any whatever you want to. There is a story.
Okay.
But you have to figure out the puzzles on how do I climb this thing to get to the top to hit it in its weak spaces? What weapon do I have to use? How do I drop off it without falling?
Okay.
etc. I think it might be up your alley. I think you'd enjoy that.
It sounds like it's also could probably be like what was that one game I was really into? The Uncharted series.
Oh, I had all the
Uncharted.
Uncharted.
PS3.
Yeah. It was like a combination of puzzles and climbing and
Some shooting here
some
and there.
Yeah,
shooting
so
here
Shadow
and
of the
there.
Colossus would be perfect for you. Yeah,
I already
Definitely.
knew that this conversation was going to be beneficial.
It's
for
going to
my,
be productive.
Yeah,
Yeah,
productive and
now
beneficial.
you have
Yeah.
something to show for it.
I'm walking away from this a winner.
We
in
just
this.
pulled you here to try and get a suggestion
hit
for
the
a
big
game
W.
Logan would like.
That's the only reason we asked you on it. Thank you
whole
so much
podcast.
for
Yeah,
coming.
thank you for
Pumpkin.
coming. That
Yeah,
was-
appreciate it. We're just gonna see you later.
We
Bye.
did it, Logan. We got what we wanted.
We got our first VTuber and we got our W. We're out, boys.
They ain't nothing but downhill from here.
I just
Let's
won a
go.
$50,000 bet in Vegas on this. The odds were stacked against me. Yeah, no, no, that's good. I mean, I've always loved video games from like the early Ataris. I had like all the old Ataris and stuff like that. and-
Hitfall.
yeah, all that stuff
Yeah,
for
buddy.
sure. Yeah, and like just sitting around playing like Dig Dug.
Dig Dug.
Oh man.
I can't remember that game. Yeah.
Dig Dug was fun, but all those.
Ice climbers.
Yeah, just and like the original Skater Dies and stuff like that.
Skater Die. I remember those.
And-
Oh my God, Skate or Die.
It was like, so I grew up on all
Mm-hmm.
that stuff, and then of course Nintendo came out, and I was like 8, which is like the perfect time.
Yep.
He was the same age as Bart
It
Simpson.
was the perfect time. Like I remember when Nintendo came out, it was just like, what the hell? I had a TurboGrafx 16, which was
Yep.
the first 16-bit console, which had a bunch of obscure games that I know on it. But I pretty much like just kept up with it over the years. I just always played
Yeah.
video games. I remember once my 15-year-old, this was years ago now, started to really get into video games. And then when Fortnite came out, right, he came up one day. He was
Oh
like,
no.
he was like, hey, there's this game.
No.
There's this game.
Fortnite.
I want to play it. And I was like, hell yeah, let's play some games. What are we doing? And he's like, it's called Fortnite. I literally had never even had heard of it at this point.
How'd you like it?
I, being me, I was like, this is going to be fun. I'll get good at this so I can play with my kid. It would be a bonding experience.
Yeah. Okay.
And so we played a few times, and then I was like, built a PC, got it on PC, started getting really good at it. I could like build and do the whole thing.
Yeah.
And then I was just riding my kid and I to like duo wins all
Yep.
day. And it was like
It's
such
that,
a
it's
great,
that type of game.
it was such a great bonding moment for us to do that.
I love PvP. I thrive off that stuff.
Me
Like,
too. I was I that got me an FPS though, so I've been on FPS ever since. I've just been doing FPS games.
Yeah.
That's
Fair.
it. Yeah. The other ones
Stuff
are
like
too
Valorant, stuff like that.
yeah, like all that
Yeah.
stuff. And then at this point now, I played Warcraft for fucking years. I mean, I have an old
same.
I have an old Warlock that is probably still chilling with a bunch of stuff on it.
Vanilla baby.
Yeah, a bunch of stuff
Yeah.
on there. But these days, it's just at this point, it's hard for me. I over the pandemic, I almost started playing Warcraft again, and then I did it.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
I was out there for a
Don't do
minute,
it.
and then I was like,
You were free, man. Don't do it.
I was like, I can't do this. Like, I can't do this. This is it. What am I going to play all through Lich King again? This isn't. I'm not. There's no way I'm going to spend the next 2 years playing this game again. Oh
No,
yeah.
I left. I went to Final Fantasy, which I'm still chilling in Final Fantasy Town. Like we're still good over there. But no, I left World of Warcraft after the Lich King, and people were like, well, how come you quit World of Warcraft? And the only way that I can think of to say it is, I raided the Lich King. We did the 25
It was
heroic.
the best. It was the
It
best.
was amazing.
It was
right?
the best.
So
oh, you didn't like pandas?
I got to have that experience. Yeah, so like I got to have that experience, and then the way that I described it was, after that cutscene, it felt like really cool because we finally beat the Lich King. Like, yes, we finally got it, but at the same time, it felt really hollow, really empty. Kind of the Batman has finally killed the Joker.
Right.
Now what?
Well, when Wile E.
there's
Coyote
nowhere left
finally
to
catches
go.
the Roadrunner. Has he seen that?
Yeah, there's no story.
The Family
anymore.
Guy
She's
where he's
gone.
like, he eats it. He's like, it's better when you work for it. And then he just goes into deep depression because he has no meaning in life anymore.
That's how it felt. So here's this beautifully, for its time cutscene.
Sure.
And then, you're picking up the Lich King's crown, helmet, or whatever, and I'm just like, we did it, but this sucks.
Yeah.
Like, we've hit the pinnacle. There's nothing else to do now. It's gone. It's over.
I sat around way too long, like farming pets and stuff like that. I have a pretty
Oh, you're an achievement hunter. Me too.
Yeah,
it's our curse.
I have a pretty intense collection on there. Some pets for sure. But it was fun. Then you could fight them like Pokemon.
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
So that when that came out, I was like, okay, I guess I'm glad I got all these pets.
Time to get my sub back, boys. We're gonna go play Pokemon for the next 17 years.
I know. But it was fun. I mean, I had a lot of great times doing that. But it's just hard. It's so hard to get back into an MMO, and it's just such a time sink. Yeah, it's tough stuff.
I'm not familiar with the acronyms.
Oh, just a multiplayer online multiplayer game. Yeah, just a bit like Warcraft, like a big. Where everybody's just kind of
lots of players, everybody playing from that kind of situation.
Justin tried to get me to play Baldur's Gate 3. Is that the new one? That's the one that came out.
How did that go for you?
It didn't go well. It didn't go well.
little too much.
Well, it was just because like I have a hard time putting my like own life together. My brain can't think of putting another life together. Like especially one that's like in a fantasy world too. That like I'm like I have this ability now. That's
like
crazy,
it.
man.
Let me escape. Trying to go somewhere else.
I put way too many hours into that. Like there were so many other things that as a responsible adult that I had to go do, and I'm just like, dude.
Yeah.
I don't need to go to the grocery store. I can eat like cottage cheese and shit. We're fine. I don't have
I'm
to.
like, my younger self would be mad as shit if I wasn't playing this game right now. I didn't grow up to not play video games.
I felt like I was back in college age again when you're just surviving on cottage cheese and ramen.
Yeah.
And you're just,
No, we're good. We're good. This is
you gotta
protein.
step away from that and go, God, no, I can't be like this. We can't do this. This is not the path.
Mm-hmm. I still do. I still like playing games. Will always play games.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's just part of the whole. It's just, and plus I've just always loved any kind of like nerd. I was really into like comic books, video games, anything that was like kind of counterculture, nerdy shit. I was like, I'm in. What are we doing?
I'm a DC person, big time.
Yeah, Justin went to all like
and Ninja Turtles.
Mine was I was fucking obsessed with the Ninja Turtles.
Yeah. I'm still obsessed with the Ninja Turtles. It didn't go away.
Yeah, I mean it was like my whole existence. I feel like as a kid was Ninja Turtles. But then I was also had just turned a teenager when like Image Comics came out. So I'd been doing Marvel before Image.
Yeah.
So like when Spawn and all that stuff hit, so I still have like Spawn 1 through 50 that I got when I was like 13. You know,
that's cool.
I went to Dragon Con when it was nothing but like some comic books,
like 20 people
in the basement of like one of the hotels. It was just like I was like, oh, I got Spider-Man Assassin Plot. Let's go.
Dang, that's rad.
Yeah,
that's rad.
And so I would say 25 years or something I've been going to Dragon Con.
Yeah.
I did the math one.
I've been a handful of times, but never officially. I've always just followed Justin in.
I've always had to go to cons to go to work, so that's one of these days I'd like to think I will go to a con to just enjoy my time being there as opposed to working there.
Yeah. I'm hoping that I think that's going to be us at TwitchCon this year. And we're trying
You should just be able to call in with like full on stuff like I'm at the con.
That's actually what I do. I've got several appearances this year.
I think that's awesome.
That's awesome.
For meet and greets. And so what's really cool about that is I don't have to travel.
Yeah.
With my disability, traveling is very difficult for me. And so being able to do everything that I do from the studio like this, they put me up on like a big screen.
That's
like
exactly what I was imagining. Yeah.
It's like a mirror shape. So it's really long and oblong. So they get my full body situation.
Oh, cool.
And they have a mic set up and everything, and I can see them via cam. They set all that up right there at the convention. And so people can come up and they get like 2 minutes with me. And they get to talk one-on-one. And I've met a lot of very cool people. I've met people that are part of my community that are like, oh my God, I finally get to like talk to you, you know?
Yeah, that's fucking, that's fucking awesome.
And, they also can do this really cool thing where they will put me on a screen, this like little portable machine screen thing. and it's on wheels, and they can control it with like a RC style controller, and they can just move it around the convention, and people can say hi to me. It's such a wild thing. Yeah, they do that.
This went way farther than I thought.
I'm like
I was
a
like,
little
I was like,
robot.
oh, you
You
should
can come up and talk to me.
I was like, you should call to the
Yeah.
convention. You're like, no, I'm actually a fucking robot.
But it's true though. Like they'll put you on like this little rolling robot thing, and you just like go through the convention at your leisure.
Dude, we're one step away, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
From just
Really
living
are.
our lives in a truly like catatonic state, truly robotic. I love it. I think it's fucking great. Hook me
I
up.
can't wait, dude.
Yep.
Plug me into the Matrix, bro.
Like a lot of the streamer awards and stuff like that. For like the VTuber nominations, this is the funniest shit. There was like one or two real, people that were physically at the event. And then there were people that were at that table, which is a big round table, and they took photographs, and it's just like iPad screens, like all the way around the table, because it's just VTubers that are here, but we're not here.
Oh my god.
So we had chairs, like it was reserved for us, but we was just a sea of iPads just looking at each other.
That's incredible.
Well,
this
Yeah.
is absolutely
we're at now.
wild.
Yeah, VTuber tech is crazy.
That's
and
why
they're, and they're still integrating. Like I've got a contract with Sony and with this really cool company called Stretch Sense, and they're developing right now gloves, because these the hands that I use right now, that obviously you can't see my hardware, but you can see my hands move. I'm using like hardware controllers for this that individually move on each one of my hands. I can control my expressions, that type of thing. But they're developing a glove that just fits on like a thin leather glove, where these aren't even, you have to use these anymore.
Oh wow, that's
that's
gotta be
amazing.
way less cumbersome, huh?
Yeah, and to change any facial expressions, like normally I have to go all the way over here and do it, this type of thing.
Right.
Okay.
All of that can be controlled through gestures in the glove, so I could make like this.
Oh, like
Or I
the
could-
like the Imogen Heap
or I could
stuff.
do
the Imogen
this.
Heap thing.
Like
yeah.
the Imogen Heap gloves. I
So,
wonder if it's
you can
Imogen
just-
Heap technology. That would be amazing to see.
So now you can just set and record your gestures of specific things that you want, and it'll change your expressions for you.
Yeah.
Based off
outside
of
of the
the
facial
handles.
tracking.
Well,
Yeah.
then still technically this is still all the infancy of the entire streaming community and everything. So I mean, this all the stuff that's going to
This is
come
the
out over
baby.
the next 5 or 10 years is just going to start to get.
Because we're now seeing like the big AAA companies that are getting very interested in what we're doing, because
sure.
they're seeing, people like me that are putting on these shows, and they're like, how do we get into that? I don't know if you guys heard about the Tony the Tiger fiasco.
I did not.
That was, oh boy. Oh boy.
Give us
So
a
Strap
Kellogg's,
in.
like Kellogg's Corn Flakes or whatever.
Yeah.
So
They're great.
Kellogg's was like, dude, these VTubers are cool. Let's make a Tony the Tiger VTuber, and let's have him actually go live and do Tony the Tiger VTuber shit, whatever that is.
Yeah.
Whatever that is, I don't know.
Whatever that act
VTuber
is, yeah.
content. So Kellogg's makes this big deal out of it, and they go and get this Tony the Tiger, and they make him. How do I say this without sounding weird? They make him way too physically attractive. We'll put it that way. Like it's uncomfortable to look at, because you're like,
I pulled it up, and I'm just gonna.
Is he
show-
hot? Let me see.
I'm just- you look at you
I'll
can,
look
you
it
can
up.
look it up. Yeah.
I'm just gonna put in hot. Tony.
No, you just Tony the
"Wanna
Tiger
do
VTube.
that?" You don't want.
Oh God, no.
You don't want to look up hot Tony the Tiger, my guy. You
I don't know,
You don't
maybe
want any
we-
of that.
Maybe
I
we
promise.
do.
You don't know
Oh,
me,
yeah,
okay?
You don't know us.
I mean, you know what? If that's what's gonna get you to England, like I'm not gonna say.
all I have to
You go-
say
you go
is-
ahead. You live your life.
All I have to say is
You get it.
meow.
So long story short, they make this VTuber, and a lot of corporations will actually do full-on auditions to be characters, which is what they did here, because they wanted Tony the Tiger to sound as Tony the Tiger as possible.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So So they gear up for this big Twitter or Twitch debut, and everyone's like, Kellogg's is gonna have a Twitch debut. This is gonna be wild. It gets around the stream space. Like this becomes a big thing. The day finally comes, and Tony the Tiger rolls up, and he's sitting in his little stream room, and he's got lights behind him, like you guys got, and he's like doing his Tony the Tiger thing, and then immediately thousands of people flood in, and they're like, hot furry Tony the Tiger, yeah, get it, yeah. And I don't think that Kellogg's was prepared at all for this, and they
No.
certainly did not like warn the actor
Yeah, for sure.
whatsoever.
It's of course
So
he
the
didn't know,
actor
yeah.
just kind of stammered through it, like, that's great, that's sure awesome. Twitch, you're great. What a great, great.
Yeah,
my God.
I love it. I
Just
love
on a
it
great
though.
loop.
Because
Great.
it exposes the fact that when you try to just like blatantly advertise on while streaming, people are you just don't even know
So bad.
what
Yeah. You don't know what kind of can of worms you're about to open up.
authenticity is sniffed out so hard in the streaming sphere.
It really is.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
chat will rip
Like-
you apart if they think there's like,
And they were not ready at
Yeah.
all. So it happened one time. They killed the broadcast like 15 minutes in, and then Kellogg's has never streamed since. It has never happened. So the Tony the Tiger incident is famous in the VTuber sphere for being the most memed piece of garbage. And to be honest, I feel a little bit bad for them. Like I genuinely do. It's not easy to do what we do.
I definitely
But
feel.
this guy walked into it like
Yeah, he didn't know-
he didn't
there's
have any
no way-
idea.
They should have done some research, probably.
Yeah, they probably should have done
Oh,
a
yeah.
little
Yeah,
R
they
and
did
D.
not.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could have just given that the smallest bit of Google search, and they couldn't even do that.
Right.
So.
No.
Yeah. Oh, on paper, it all looks great.
Yeah.
These kids are gonna love this.
Yeah. Who's got the
Can't wait
checkbook?
to shill Kellogg's cornflakes on Twitch. Like, please.
Kids love it when you shill to them. I've been off off social media and off of like anything with ads on it for so long that when I see an ad, like if I'm watching something and like an ad pops up somewhere, I'm almost like have this visceral like reaction of disgust.
Like this cringe that
Yeah, I'm
goes
just
down
like,
your
oh,
spine.
oh, what is this? You know, like because it's just. And occasionally you might, I mean, not that there aren't funny ads and stuff. There's creative people working behind ads and stuff, but there's just something. There's something that makes me go like, and if I see a commercial and I really feel like the ad isn't good enough, I make a mental note like, don't buy that.
Yeah,
Because I just
because there has to be entertainment factor in your advertising.
I'm
There
not
has
going to
to be.
ask my doctor about that.
yeah, I don't want to see it, but if I absolutely must have to, it better be fucking good. I don't. I don't
Like
want
the audacity. How dare you?
How dare you
dare
take
you.
over my eye space?
Like, I'm trying to watch a stream right now. Like, what is this?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like how libertarians want to pay for everything. You know, they'll just be like, "I'll just put advertisements everywhere." I'm like, "Please don't."
Yeah, don't do
No,
that.
that you know what? Kind of looping back into the main thing. That is the one thing that makes me the happiest to live here. It is illegal by state law to put up like billboard advertising of any kind.
Oh, that's
Lucky.
amazing.
Man,
Yeah.
we got it everywhere
Because
down
they're
here.
they're all about like the natural landscape and not messing it. Have you guys seen the McDonald's that we got up here? There's
We just know the
there's a-
lobster place.
There's a McDonald's.
Did they
yeah,
serve
yeah,
lobster
there's a
rolls at
McDonald's
Echo?
that the city that it's in is in this big historic like 1800s level cobblestone, and they were like, we'll allow you to have a McDonald's, but you're not allowed to put up a big gaudy ugly building, and you're gonna buy one of the old mansions and you're gonna use that. And that's what that. So we have a McDonald's that's in this old 1800s mansion, and it's the weirdest thing in the whole world. I don't think there's been another McDonald's that's like it. It's
Do
the
you have to have a
strangest thing.
reservation?
No, it's just a McDonald's. You just walk in.
I
I'd go
figured.
to McDonald's
is
if you had to
the
make a
weirdest-
reservation.
Yeah.
This is the weirdest thing. Like, my God.
No, that's good. I
So
mean,
strange.
I do remember when we were driving through though the digital signs or like the traffic signs, they always had something funny written on them. You know, like it always had like some sort of like traffic pun.
Yeah, Maine gets it.
Yeah, Maine understands.
It's not here. There's nothing funny about it. If you tried to put something funny up here in Atlanta, people would
shoot the sign. They would shoot the sign
Don't
out.
you dare try to bring any comedy.
Or no, they did do that. They there was a traffic sign that was up in a like an affluent part of town here in Atlanta called Buckhead, and somebody had put something like home of the Buckhead Betties or like home of the Buckhead something on
whatever
this,
it is.
yeah, whatever it is on this, like they hacked this sign.
Oh, they hacked the sign.
They hacked the sign like in the.
Dude, was it fucking Angelina Jolie hacking the fucking sign? Was it?
I don't know.
Was it acid burn?
It was acid burned. Yeah.
I put that picture in the Discord for you later. You can check it out.
Beautiful.
It's interesting.
Fucking beautiful.
It's interesting.
Yeah, no, but I would love to get rid of all advertising.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, let's go.
I know you can't, and it's funny because like, you know, in a way, like there has to be some kind of advertising. How else are we gonna get paid for anything?
I was about to be. Speaking of which, you guys, you know that
and
Risky
that
Biscuit.
leads us on to our next topic. Buy our shit.
Yeah, you see these glasses that I'm wearing? They're blue light blocking. They're Gunner glasses. Gunner.com. Use code word biscuit at checkout and get 15% off of these Gunner glasses. Blue light blocking glasses.
Yeah.
Well played. Very smooth. Very smooth into that ad read, my guy.
You can see through the lies of capitalism on them.
I tell you what, if there was one thing that I ever wanted to be, it was a game show host. So,
and a weatherman.
So give me the opportunity to be a public announcer, and I will take that mic and run with it.
That's true. You did. You the game show host too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like the game host.
I strangely enough have never ever had a desire to be on camera for anything. And yet here I am.
We actually tossed the idea
because I feel like.
We tossed the idea around for a little while where we were going to make Justin just a V2.
I don't like to be in pictures. I like to just kind of like do my shit and then disappear in the back. I never wanted to be like the lead guy in a band, you know. I just wanted to be like, oh, just not put me back in the corner or some shit. You know, I
can see all the rest of you, and then there's just a picture of Justin with a PNG tuber, like poorly drawn in MS Paint.
Yep.
It lights up every time he sings.
Goes back and forth like this.
Yeah. It's like the Space Coast Coast to Coast.
Yeah. He's in one position, and then he's in another.
You're bringing me down, man.
Yeah. So we had thought about that, but now that you're talking about these gloves, you know, because Justin was saying that it would look weird, it wouldn't be able to catch up with his fingers to be able to do this.
They're actually made so that they will track musician hand placement.
Well, cool.
So
now all I need is like $30,000, Logan, and we'll be fine.
Chat, we're gonna set a goal. We got a new goal.
They're
Chat.
only like $800. Like $800.
I'm gonna have to get the whole rig.
Yeah, we have to get the whole rig, and he has to.
Then if you're looking at the same rig that I've got that I'm wearing right now, you're probably looking at about maybe $5,000 to $6,000.
Yeah.
It might as well be $30,000 to me right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is expensive, but
yeah,
you know.
no, but that, I mean, I don't know if I'd go. It seems like it would be a lot to do, but it did cross my mind. Because I would rather just I don't even take pictures. I forget my phone can take pictures.
Yeah,
my social media is just people taking pictures of me and tagging me in it.
Every time that somebody wants to hire our band, they're like, "Do you have a promo photo?" And I'm like, "No." I was like, "I can give you a promo."
Let us take pictures. We got like a card.
Yeah, I'll take a picture of myself, and we'll call it. We get to call the band Logan Daniels and his Cocker Spaniels, and that's like the name of the group.
Yeah, I would always hire lead people for bands.
Yeah.
I'd be like, you want to come lead sing? So I can just kind of like.
Yeah. So the promo
Hang back
pictures.
and not do anything. Yeah.
Yeah, the promo pictures.
I love singing and all that kind of stuff. I just never wanted to be the front man. I'm always, that's just my style. I'm more like one-on-one. I'm more like before or after the show is when I want to be seen. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just fucking weird that I'm on Twitch on camera all the time now.
Yeah.
There's a certain comfort with it, you know, like I'll get up in the morning and I'm like, yeah, let's go play some video games. Let's go do something. Let's just go hang with the community. And it feels I mean, maybe it's just because I've done it for a number of years, but it just feels so natural to just get up and do that and not worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It
I don't know
does.
if
It
it's just
does
me-
now.
If it's just a me thing, or
No,
if
no,
it's,
no, no.
you know.
It does now. Like when we first started, it was something that we kind of needed because we just had no shows, and we were like, "Oh, this is great." And then we started to build a little community, and that.
Yeah, you
and,
guys have a good community here,
yeah,
Yeah,
and your
wonderful.
mods are on point all the time.
yeah, they're
Thanks.
funny.
You got good mods in here.
They
They're, we're about to put them through the ringer
Looking at
because
you,
we're
mods.
going to be
Yeah.
changing a bunch of stuff up on them, so they're
gonna love that.
gonna love that.
No, but streaming really was like a kind of a lifesaver for us, and just even like mentally and everything like that to build the community and have it. So it's worth getting on screen for me to do because it's so it is a lot of fun, and I do love the setup here and playing in headphones and having everything like
Yeah.
sound
Yep.
studio mixed while we're jamming, which is not something you get to do very often, and I get to do it all the time.
Yeah, you guys have like a really tight sound pretty much all the time though. Like even with your vocals and just how everything is balanced, it's such good quality what you guys do.
Thank
Like,
you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's a constant battle.
We're always learning something new. I mean, we ultimately, from my perspective, this definitely gives me an opportunity to strive for something bigger than what we were striving for before Twitch.
As a drunken cover band? What are you
as a
talking about?
drunken cover band. Now it's
Look,
definitely
guys, you got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
Drunk cover band is perfect.
Yeah. Well, right before the pandemic, we were playing big shows as a cover band. We were opening up for like regional acts, like bigger regional acts, and
That's cool.
it was
That's good.
projected that we were going to do great, and then all
Yeah,
of a sudden,
Logan and I were like, man, this is gonna be our best year yet, money wise. Like we're stacked. And then it was like, meh.
yeah.
I had just bought a $4,000 guitar, so that was pretty cool. I was like, I'll be able to pay this off, no problem. But it's still like going into the streaming thing. Like we got to carry all that. We used to talk a lot between songs when we were playing live on stage, so it
Yeah.
kind of carried over pretty well.
The transition wasn't that big, but it definitely made for, just like a different sort of experience with entertainment. Like, I'm actually like scratching the itches that I've like had for years and never could scratch because I'm playing in a cover group that's just getting drunk every fucking night. Like now I get the opportunity to try something new where I'm, streaming. I have no clue internet culture whatsoever. Like it's all very brand new to
We got to
me.
get you learned.
Well, that's the whole thing is like now I get the opportunity to kind of learn in
Yep.
front of an audience, which makes me feel
It's true.
really good about like being or like starting in this sort of place. So
It's been a lot of fun watching Logan kind of like become assimilated into the internet because he really, when we first started, he was like, "What the fuck is Twitch?" Mm-hmm. Like he had literally no clue,
Yep.
And I was like, "Oh, it's this thing," because I watched video game content on it, and then I was like,
Everybody thinks it's automatically for video games. Like,
Right.
Oh, it's just
But-
the video games. It's like, no, it is. It's
got-
way more than just video games these days.
anybody can do anything on it, and if it works, people will watch it.
To tell you the truth, the 1st thing that Justin got me into was Kit Boga, because when he
Oh,
was
that's right. That's
when
a-
he was setting up the stream or like working in the studio, building the studio, he'd have Kit Boga on in the background. And he was like, "Oh, this is just some guy that like scams scammers," and I was just completely blown away with that. That was like,
It's fascinating to watch, isn't it?
Oh,
Yeah.
it's
just
so
the back and
so,
forth.
yeah,
it's great, and
yeah.
like he just leads them on, and then he like even the production side of it was still very intriguing as well, and so it was something very interesting to watch. And then of course, due to the nature of politics at the time,
while I was slowly radicalizing Logan,
yeah, he got me into a few other streamers, and of course, I became, I kind of became more immersed in it, but doing the music side of things and being kind of brand new in not only in the music's infancy of it, but like also just having that wherewithal to like play music made it a wonderful space to like get to know new people or get to like create a new scene, and it was very exciting. It still is, I'm still very,
and just
very
like
excited to
a
do this.
sense, like having like a sense of. I mean, I suppose it's like a lot of what you did. You're like, I wanted like a sense of creative purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's like we get to that point at some. You want. Who wants to just be sitting still? Like, well, this is it. It's just a clear run to the grave. Just sitting.
Yeah, and,
right
and
here.
that's how it felt. Like you have all these skills and you have all these interests and hobbies, and you just want to be able to share those with other people
Mhm.
and have that feedback back in your own pocket.
Yeah, just like
And what I love so much about it is, we could have, if COVID didn't happen and my brother didn't get sick, we could have continued to go out and play venues. We could have continued to get booked. We could have continued to do all this and we'd be doing fine. But there's something that Twitch brings to the table, and being online and doing this sort of thing brings to the table, because now you have not only an opportunity for people that are local to watch you, but now you have people that are international that can watch you.
Yep.
People from different time zones, people that have never heard of you before. And suddenly they're just like, well, shit, Risky Biscuit Band's badass. I'm going to watch them on a Sunday. And this person's in like
it's
Australia.
Wild. It's wild.
And having that sort of power at your fingertips and being able to grow a community like that is so powerful and so cool, because your music can reach so many different cultures and people. And a lot of time, people that are just going through shit, because it is not easy out here, being able to go on to Twitch and go, hey, they're streaming today. Nice. And sit down after a long day and listen to you guys joke around and banter around and, whatever you're doing, playing stuff. Maybe you request a song, you drop, a tenor and shoot it to the top, and you guys play the cover song that they like, and it puts them in a good mood.
Yep.
And if you were just playing local, only region, those people would never know you.
Right.
And
yeah,
it's such a big opportunity.
Well,
I feel like
I definitely remember the first time that happened with us. We had a gentleman who rated us one time, and he lives in Turkey, and his name is Sauner, and he would rate us with like 600 or 700 people.
Nice.
Who, we did not know any Turkish.
But now I know how to say hello.
At least we know how to say hello. And
same way
still,
with me in the Brazilian crowd. Yeah.
And so it was I had also had that realization. So I'm glad that you brought that up about this whole scenario too, because it is a very, very cool aspect of this.
And then I was going to say also, as musicians, kind of like that scene, like a band or a musician always wants to be part of like a scene. Even if you're doing your own thing, you want to be part of like a group of like-minded people. And we were able to all jump on here, and then all of a sudden we have tons of music friends who are all with common goals, not fighting, working with each other, sharing stuff. There was a time in Atlanta where I remember being like, all our friends, bands, and everybody, we should all have like a calendar, like one Google calendar that we all post to, so we know
where everybody's playing,
where our gigs are, and
right.
stuff.
And so we could maybe like plan around it and then do what's best for everybody, kind of thing. And it never got started because it's like it's worse than herding cats. I mean, it's just like, how are you going to get all these crazy musicians to even open up a calendar and put something on there? That's not going to happen.
Right.
We can barely write things down.
Exactly. But that kind of stuff happens. Like, a schedule, you can work around it. Like, we've definitely, some of our best friends now. We met because they're other streamers on Twitch.
Yep. And you guys, and I've been here when you guys have raided into other musicians that I hadn't heard of, and I was like,
yep.
All right.
Yeah.
Like, this person's got a nice, okay, let's chill here for a while.
Shit, that's how you get anybody in Twitch, right? It's just like, you wait for the raids to come through, and you'll get some people stumbling by, but when you get those raids, especially when it's like, okay, these people like to consume music, so let's send them over.
Yeah.
They'll probably like this.
It's a very cool concept to build a different kind of community, which is why, once again, we Justin and I constantly talk about how we're going to be able to expand this even after 5 years of doing it, which is not but one more year for us. We're coming up on our 4-year anniversary, so
congrats. Heck yeah.
Thank you. And to be like really like one of very few bands on Twitch or
like full band
in this space
it's
in
rare.
general.
You don't see that. You might see somebody solo. You see a lot of people solo piano. You see a lot of people playing guitar, usually acoustic, and just jamming out by themselves or whatever, taking requests. But you don't see a full band. And that's actually what attracted me to you in the first place, because I was going through my music stuff and just kind of, browsing as you do. And I saw, the neon UI, which was super clean, by the way. You don't see that either. And then, you see all 4 of you guys, and you each have your own camera. You each have your own individual setup. That is so visually tight. Awesome. And you just don't see that. Yeah. So just from the thumbnail, I was like, the hell is this? And I click in, and you guys sound absolute aces, and I'm sitting here like, yeah, okay, we're gonna chill for a while.
Yeah.
We're gonna chill. We're just gonna hang out. We're just gonna hang out.
Thank you.
Yeah,
for
no, I
that.
mean, I
But
remember.
even the cross community thing too, because a lot of my, if not the majority of my community, are VTuber enjoyers. They like animated stuff. They like cartoons. They like this stuff, and you usually see VTubers only raiding into VTubers, and I hate that. I hate that. It separates the communities on Twitch. And it really gets under my skin.
When we really could
So-
be like just throwing them all around.
Yeah.
You
like,
just throw everything.
Like
you know?
maybe you don't know you're into this, and you're about to
like I've
find
raided
out.
into you guys a couple of times when
Mhm.
I used to stream at night. I stream in the morning now, so I don't get a chance to raid into you as much these days. But
We
I
enjoy
get the
your company when you
opportunity.
come through.
I appreciate it. So we would have like a smaller raid or whatever, and I'd be like, hey, you know what? I'm taking off. You guys want to go hear like a really kick-ass fucking band? We're going over to we're going over to these guys.
Nice.
Say hi, give them a request. Have a good night. We're gonna hang over there. And I've had people come back in my Discord and be like, dude, the guys you raided into are really cool. I'm like, I told you.
We love it.
You're not VTubers, but that doesn't matter. It doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, like,
entertainment is entertainment. It doesn't
Entertainment
matter.
is like, and like I said,
It
maybe
doesn't matter the source that you go into it
maybe
with,
somebody
you know?
finds out about you and who's doing the music stuff over here, and then goes over there's like, hey, this is actually, I never knew I needed this in my life.
Yeah.
She's a cartoon that does like acapellas and piano. That's cool. you know?
Yeah, yeah. No, that's pretty. So you play piano, right? Do you?
Yeah,
do
I
you-
played piano for like 30 years or so. somewhere
Okay.
around there.
Okay.
And what other instruments do you play? You
I
mentioned
play guitar.
Okay.
I do play guitar. I have a violin. I've got kalimba and an ocarinna.
I
under my
noticed you
belt.
said you had a violin. You said you play guitar, play piano, and then had a
I
violin.
have a violin. I have one. I was given one, and I'm still in the process of learning it.
Okay.
So I don't consider that as something that I play because I don't play it well.
No, I was just
You know what I'm talking about?
I was just noting the
You
language
own
there.
one.
It made sense.
I have one. Yeah.
Learning how to
When
play.
I'm good
play-
at it, then I'm like, I play that.
Yeah,
But
right.
until then, we don't.
I have
we
one
don't.
of those.
I own one of those.
Violins actually, when you first start, is hard to start because it sounds so bad when you start.
Yeah. If you don't have a good
It's
technique.
the lack of frets. That's the thing that
Yeah.
kills me. It's the lack
Yeah,
of frets.
so it's like-
because I'm used to frets on a guitar. Like
Uh-huh.
I own 3 different guitars, and I'm very used to having a fretboard. There's no
Yeah.
fretboard in your, and
Yeah.
I am depth perception stupid. Like I can't see on
Yeah.
this level. So I'm struggling to get my fingers right. But at the
yeah,
same time, you practice, you get
you
better
practice,
at it.
you get better. You'll eventually just have the muscle.
You trust in the
Yeah.
process. That's
Yeah.
what I always say.
Yep.
You just trust in the process. Like you know
When I
how.
played piano as like a 4-year-old, I promise that sounded like shit. I picked up the guitar, that sounded like shit, but now they sound great. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
That's how it
just
works.
Keep at it. Yeah.
Yep. But there are some instruments that are harder to start because it's harder to get the instant gratification from them, and like clarinets like that,
Like banjo.
it's like no, like clarinet or like violins like
wind
that because
wind instruments, brass instruments, anything with like a mouthpiece. Nah.
they can be squeaky, and that you hit a bad noise, you're like, "Eh," and you're like, oh god,
Oh, that's awful.
here we go. Whereas like on a guitar, you could pretty much get like an E minor chord pretty easily.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
First day, see some results and stuff.
I only have 2 fingers. Nice.
Yeah, good to go. Yeah, let's
We're
go.
good.
I don't have to take a deep breath after this.
Yeah.
Shit, yeah,
So
let's go.
yeah. So what kind of do you mainly do like acoustic guitar? Or what do you busting out solos? What are you doing over here?
I like acoustic. I play fingerstyle.
Oh, okay, cool.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I like fingerstyle guitar. I do a lot of that. My strumming isn't that great, but I just have I don't know. I just picked up fingerstyle very, very quickly, and that's what I do.
Cool. Yeah. No.
Yeah,
We're big guitar people, obviously. Among other things, I'm starting to build up a little collection.
Yeah, he has a bunch of different instruments.
I got my mandolin, which is basically a violin with frets and double strings.
Yeah, I've heard you were playing that one night on some song that you guys were doing, and I didn't recognize the sound at first, and I looked over and I was like, is that a fucking mandolin?
It's a
Like,
mandolin.
Like,
Yeah,
I
we
was
have
like, oh yeah, he did play
Such
mandolin.
a
And
unique
piano
instrument.
too.
Mm-hmm.
I do. I have been. This has been the year that I have been practicing piano more. because it was not
Nice.
one of my first
We love
instruments.
that. We love
Yeah.
that for you.
I've been trying to get more and more into it, and then recently I've been in a Doors kick, so I've just been listening to the Doors albums like
playing
over
along
and
with
over
Doors.
and over again. I'm like, well, this is good for my piano playing. So,
What kind of piano do you have?
right now, I mean, I have like
There's
an
a
old,
white one that I've seen you guys use on stream, and I don't know what it is. It looks
We-
like a small synthesizer.
Well, we both have
They're-
Keylab 49s, which are the synth ones, but we also both of us have
they're all MIDI controllers.
Yeah,
So everything. That
Okay,
yeah.
okay. As they looked like it, but I kept
Yeah.
looking at them, and I know that you have a list, and I'm down below, and I'm terrible at looking at the about list.
that list is so out of date.
Okay, good, because I know that
Oh,
you
yeah.
have one, but I'm really lazy.
No,
So I just saw, I would see the white one that you had now, and I kept looking at that. I'm like, I don't recognize that. I don't know what that is. Is it Korg? It's too small to be a Korg. I don't know what that
It's
is.
a Native Instruments, and then there's the Arturia.
Yeah.
are the 2,
Mhm.
and then I do have like an old electric piano upstairs too, but
it's like a Yamaha or
Nice.
something.
like an old Yamaha. It was expensive when it was new, kind of thing. But
Yeah.
I learned how to play. I learned how to play piano on that.
Yep.
The
Yeah, my
keys
chord
are.
cross is what I
let me let
had for the
this
really
out.
longest time, and then I ended up 5 keys went on it because I played it so much.
that's the sign of a good.
But the
good
velocity
piano.
broke on 5 keys, so at that point, I ended up doing a fundraiser on the broken piano, and we did an improv song about the broken keys
Mhm.
because somebody went, "Hey, it's not on your list, but can we get like a song about the broken keys using the broken keys?" And I was like, that sounds funny. Let's do that. So I played out a whole song using the broken keys. And at the end of it, I got a donation on stream. And it broke me down and made me cry on stream for about a half hour because I just was not expecting it. But, I didn't have the money at the time to replace that piano. I mean, that's a $1,200 piano right out of the gate. So I'm sitting there and I'm playing, and they're like, yeah, thank you, man. Like that song was great. And are you taking donations for a new one? I said, yeah. I said, play a song here, $5 here, $10 here, $5 here.
Yeah.
We will save that up and we'll get a new one. And I go on to play my next song, and in the middle of it, I get the donation, above your head, and it was the entirety in full, the donation to pay off a $3,000 piano.
Whoa,
Damn.
gotta love that.
Somebody just dropped $3,000 on me, and I stopped playing, and I just stared at the screen because what do you say to that?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
what do you?
Yeah, you can't really.
I didn't even know how to react to that.
You're
so
just
I
like,
just
did that just happen? Yeah.
yeah, I didn't know how to react at all. So I'm sitting here like, what do I do with that? And I just broke down crying because I'm a very emotional person. And I just, oh my God, thank you. Like, I don't, and chat's going nuts because they
Right,
get
chat's
their piano
losing
days
it,
back.
yeah.
They're all excited and, I'm so happy for you. And I was just in tears and I had to get up and like walk away. I was like, give me like 5 minutes. I need to pull myself together. Like, oh my God, I'm a mess, and
Yep. It's
Um,
crazy. We've had a couple crazy nights where it's been like, right before we moved, we had like 2 crazy nights that we were just like,
Everybody was very generous.
we were just like, what are you doing? Like people like
you guys had a couple of nights where you were like, you had 1,000 people in here and you were on front page.
Oh, that
Oh,
was
yeah.
not, that we
Yeah.
honestly were one time we're on front page for like 3 months or something stupid.
We thought that they had forgotten about us, and we kind of made a little bit of a joke about it. We were like, "Are we on the front page again? Let me check." Yep, we're
Yeah.
still there.
And the
Okay,
thing
cool.
is-
What's up, everybody?
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
you guys were trending hard.
when we were first on there, we were just kind of like, oh, front page. So we're going to do like this because we're on the front page. And then after a while, we're like, nah, whatever. Just another day on the front page.
Yeah. And that's
It's no big deal.
No
like,
big
nobody-
deal.
yeah,
Well, it's just
all
like
right.
after about a month of it, you're like, all right, well, we're just going to certainly get back to our regular show. We're not going to like
Yeah.
ham it up every day.
and we did appreciate the push for sure. It definitely helped us grow the audience. And I think that even that big push too, kind of like we had to reel it back and humble ourselves once things started to kind of get back to a normal pace.
Normalcy.
I like
Yeah.
I like when life goes, hey, hold up.
Yeah, and which definitely were like we both looked at each other. We were like, we can't stop, just because
You got to keep the momentum going, even when
Yeah.
it starts to balance out and even out.
Yeah.
People get really hyped about you because they're the new thing that you discovered, or the other way around. Excuse me, you're the new thing that they discovered, and then they're
Right.
kind of like, okay, yeah. The ones that
Right.
stay. The ones that don't.
And there's a whole crowd of people. I mean, some of them are still with us, but there's definitely a whole crowd of people. Like when we first started streaming, that when we had like under 50 people, they would hang out. But once we started to go over, they were like, now we're good. Like they want to be in streams where there's like less than 50.
But they're
people.
small people.
Yeah.
Yep, I know that exact same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you see them and you're like, what up? And they're like, hey, what's up? Like, no hard feelings. You know, it is what it is.
We call them ancient chat.
And some of them are still around. Some of them are still around for sure. But
You get the ancient chat. I get the OGs.
The OGs, yeah.
The OGs.
There was a point where I don't know if you were following us by then, but there was a point where I was doing a lot of provocative things on camera for subs at some point in
That's
time.
true.
And
We all done that at some point.
I mean,
well,
What are we talking here?
he
Like,
was
like, what are we talking?
He was putting on crop tops.
Oh, that's funny though.
And,
For like-
and dancing around for subs.
for like 20 subs, and then all of a sudden people were like, the entire stream was just 20 subs here, 20 subs there, and it just became this like thing to where I was
Logan's
just
half naked
I
all
was just
the time.
half naked on camera dancing around, and like I even bought wigs, and like we bought like
That's funny, dude.
I bought like a tank top and I made it a green screen, and then I would put the video of the song on his as like his clothes.
That's cool. That's actually a really good idea.
And
That's
then
neat.
then I started writing parody songs. So instead of Dancing Queen, I wrote Pizza King.
and I would come in
He
a
would come-
giant inflatable green man suit, and you would cover me in a pizza like background, and I had a crown.
That's really funny though. I think that was before I came in.
I think it was.
But the idea of that's actually really funny.
The funny thing is that was the funny thing. But the problem is it got to the point where it really was like we had to do that bit so many times per stream,
much.
and we were making good
Yeah.
money, but we were like, oh man, this isn't
It's getting old.
This isn't what you want to do the whole time.
Yeah, and it ran its course, and I was like, well, I don't know if I want like even the band was like, I don't know if we want this to be the centerpiece, you know.
It should be like a special.
Yeah, it should be something special. And when we reeled it back, it was like, well, how do you even get people to get there now after you've kind of said, okay, well, we're going to make it more expensive to get to that place. And
you
so
work it up in like increments, you know.
Yeah, well, it fizzled out, but now we're moving. We moved.
We all
into-
fizzled it out.
Yeah, we all fizzled it out, but ultimately we moved it into this space to where the content is revolved around more of the music stuff, and then of course like how we're doing these streams. I mean, you are like I said, this is the very first time that we've ever had an interview like this before on this channel, and I really appreciate you taking the time.
I'm flattered.
Yeah, this is one of the first episodes. We definitely appreciate you coming by because like we've always been fans of your stream, for sure. And we're happy when you pop into ours too. It's always good to see you. You know, it's always good to see other streamers who the thing with other streamers, you're like, you look at them, you're like, we know, we all know. Like there's things streamers go through that you do, and unless you're a streamer,
We know the behind the curtain.
Yeah, you don't
situation.
really
We
know. And
Yeah,
also just
yeah.
the technology you got to do, the things you got to do. Like even before we came up, we were like, so if we put this thing in here, and you were like, what are you guys trying to do over here? Because
because I know, and
Right,
I was
'cause
like, it's maybe something in OBS, like
Yep.
they have something going through a weird channel.
Yep.
Like-
Because we all have to deal with that all the time. It's just like part of our lives now. I love it though because I used to spend some of my best friends on here are in the very beginning when we would spend hours on Discord together and just being like, how are you doing this? How are you doing this? How do we do this? Because it was uncharted territory to put a band on
like
Twitch.
you have to figure it out.
Yeah,
We had to make up, like literally invent shit on how we were going to do it. And you got to have a community for that kind of stuff. It's hard just doing that completely solo.
Yeah, I'm basically learning how to do just basic coding just so I can learn how to manipulate OBS the way that I wanted to. And that's just like brand new for me. So, of course, it's very interesting and fun to learn how to do this. But it also is that trying, sort of like, all right, we just got to put it out there. Like, for instance, this putting this all together is like, I was like, oh my God, am I really about to make this happen?
So
holy shit.
So
Yep, it's trial and error. A lot of it, like I don't obviously have my additional hardware set up, but like you've been to my streams before, I'm sure that you've seen like the hokey jokey pianos dropping, anvils dropping stuff, and all that has to be. I have to code that by hand.
Yeah, it's like
So like,
it's a whole thing. No, I've
so-
been explaining your stream to other people before while showing it, and I'm like, I don't think you understand like what goes into making something that looks this good and works this good. It's one thing to have it look good; it's another thing for it to also work very well. And
yep, because there's voice acting, there's body acting. You know, so even when the way that I have it coded is like when those big pianos drop, they're actually tied to the Twitch indicator that says the hype train has started.
right.
So anytime that a hype train starts, it automatically will essentially cut the rope up on top, letting the 3D model smash into mine. And then I have to do the body acting with this and use these for the sound effects. So everything is like a full body experience to get that Looney Tunes slapstick comedy of yesteryear.
Yeah.
Right.
But all of that has to be physically hand coded, like developed. You know, I have to have people make the piano model, and I have to have people texture it, and then we have to get it into the program, and then we have to test it, and if it doesn't work, and you know, what about this? I mean, there's so many different aspects to the audio for you guys and the audio for me, of course, but then like the visuals and trying to make sure that the cameras are on the right sections. And I mean, it's only something that somebody who's streamed before really understands.
Right.
You know.
The all the things that go on. And for you, I love you do all that stuff, and the person's like, oh look at piano, and that's pretty much it. But you know what went behind. You know, like it.
Oh yeah,
those little details,
I know the
like
pain and suffering I put behind that, like the 48 hours of coding. How fast do I want the piano drop? What sound effect do I want to have when it impacts with the body? What section of the body do I want it to impact with? Which means rigging bones, which means this. I mean, it's a whole mishmash of understanding that data set and being able to crunch that out. So,
Yep.
Well, you do it very, very well.
What?
Thank you.
And you also
Thank
have.
you.
So what is? So the other. What was the show that we were talking about? The other
Oh, Tuned
things?
In.
Yeah, Tuned In.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about Tuned In real quick, because
Okay.
I found it, and then I was like, Logan, have you seen this? Have you seen you doing this Tuned In thing? We watched a couple minutes of it or whatever. But like, describe what is this all about?
Okay, so I run a cartoon comedy improv show called Tuned In, which I host, and I have 4 different streamers from various different streamer cultures. So I might have, you know, like people like you guys on. I might pull a VTuber. I might pull a comedian. I might pull a voice actor. And what I do is I put them all together. And I show them clips, 1-minute clips of old cartoons. So stuff from the 1940s up to mid-90s, like Nicktoons, Rugrats era.
Mm-hmm.
And I give them no context, and I take out all the dialogue and sound effects. So they just get the visual. And then I go, okay, you're playing Tommy Pickles. You're playing his mom. You're playing this. And they have to make it up on the spot, having no context of any of this. And then after we get done, I will show them the clip with everything intact to see how close they came to the original. And I will tell you, they never come close anytime.
Anytime, it never happens.
This was a show that I had wanted to do for a while. I had talked to my manager. My manager was like, I really love this idea. You know, let's put this into motion. And this debuted at the National VTuber Convention last year. And we did episode 1. And we did, still one of the funniest clips. We did a clip of the 1987 Ninja Turtles, like the old one.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And of course, you know, we did have a couple of younger people, obviously familiar with Ninja Turtles, but they'd never really seen the older one, like from the 80s. So I assigned the parts. They knew who the characters were. And the scene, without any context, looked like Leonardo having a conversation on a cell phone with Shredder as he was kidnapping April. That's all the context they got. They have no idea what the conversation was. So this starts out fine until all of a sudden, Basil, who I assigned Leonardo, said, and I quote, give me that fucking phone. You got a small dick, you got small wrist, and ain't nobody. Like, he just starts going off on Shredder over the cell phone. And the person playing Shredder just played right back into it. And he goes, yeah, well, I'll tell you, I got April and I'm going to clap those turtle cheeks. And like, he just started like they were getting into it. And the whole convention center was in riots over this. So that's the type of humor it is. It's just, I let them improv and I let them go. They do voices. They do comedy.
It's kind of like in the spirit of Mystery Science Theater kind of thing, right?
Yeah. It's the same type of thing. Only it's like Mystery Science Theater with cartoons mixed with like whose line is it anyway?
I was gonna say the whose line.
Yeah, I was about to say with the improv.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the perfect trifecta of entertainment. No, that's really cool. And
you get some of the voice actors on there, it's amazing. It's amazing what they do.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure that it's that sounds like comedy gold to me.
Yeah, having a good voice actor is the difference between everything.
we had one episode where we had a Transformers episode, where one of the clips was Transformers, and I assigned Optimus Prime to one of the girls that was in there, and she's a professional voice actor, and she came out of the gate guns loaded. So I said, okay, here's your parts. I said, here you go, in 3, 2, 1. And the first thing that she says is, I'm Optimus Prime, who pissed in the sink? And then they had to, but they're all robots, so now they have to explain, and they're all arguing with each other about
transmission fluid
in the sink, and it was silly, stupid fun. And but no, the show is gold, and people really enjoyed it. So we ended up getting greenlit for a season 2, and we're between seasons right now because we're currently filling the guest roster. But
that's really cool. I thought that was a really neat thing, and just to show old. I mean, how good are those old cartoons too? Like you have other great material to work with for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, a ton.
All like the old all the Animaniacs and Tiny Toons and stuff like that. Those were
Pinky and the Brain and
all the shorts
Freakazoid and like all that stuff. Yeah.
What was
pulled some old Batman?
Remember Freakazoid, Logan?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I remember
Freakazoid was so good.
There was a burger place here that used to play all those old cartoons like in the background on the TVs and stuff.
I love that.
Yeah, that was. I remember the day that Tiny Toon Adventures came out.
I remember
it was a big fucking deal.
I was a big Muppet Babies fan.
I was young. I must have.
Yeah, see?
I love shows that have
all of a sudden everybody's shoulders just like
it's like all the soundtrack from Grease or whatever.
Yeah.
I hate that you say that because now I realize how close that is.
Yeah.
I hate that. Oh my god.
I'm sorry. That's my brain again.
No.
Yeah. That's the reason why Justin has a
But
hard
you're
time
right,
writing his
and
own
that's
songs.
why I hate it so much. That's awful.
I have a hard time. I write a lot of music, but I have a hard time writing music sometimes because I'll be like 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours into writing something, and then I'm like, oh, that's how bizarre. But no, like my brain's like,
I recognize this chord progression.
There it is.
Oh,
yeah, I'm always right. And then once I hear it, I'm like, well, might as well just trash that.
Oh, that's a Sugar Ray song.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
On to something else. Wait,
oh my god,
I got this new
Sugar
song.
Ray.
All around the world, people. Yeah, so.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
How'd you know I was gonna say that, Logan?
All around the world.
It was. You both did it at the same time and perfectly in sync. Lean back all around the world. Like it was perfect sync. Like
we do it too much. We do it too much.
like
It's
Bill
not even.
and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Just like,
It's like not even that surprising to us anymore.
Yeah. You should see us like when we're actually like out in public together. We're like finishing each other's jokes and shit.
One time,
God.
One time, my car insurance company, like on a form when I was filling it out, asked me if I was married to Logan.
Because we have been together.
what did you say?
I was about to be like, Logan, are we married?
Yeah.
What?
I was like, well, how many years has it been?
I know I had a lot to drink last night, but I don't remember.
Oh god.
Is it even legal here in
I
Georgia?
want to be like,
Shit.
does it fucking save me on my car insurance? Because otherwise, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, you're like, where's that little green gecko at, man? Let me ask him if it's all right if we're married.
Yeah.
Do I get a discount?
Yeah. Oh man.
That's
so
funny.
Oh.
yeah, no, all those. Listen, all the old cartoon stuff mixed with comedy and shit like that. If anybody's on it, let's get a. Is that just coming up on your YouTube channel? Like that's where it premieres at? The show?
We actually do it right on my Twitch channel.
Oh, you do. You
Okay,
do it straight
cool.
up on the Twitch
Yeah,
channel.
we-
Okay.
Yeah, it's like season 1 was every other Saturday
Uh-huh.
because, and I really wanted to have it on a Saturday because I wanted it to feel that that nostalgia of waking up as a kid and running downstairs to watch cartoons on a Saturday
Yep.
morning. So I really wanted to capture that feeling, but as an adult, as we can joke around a little bit more maturely.
We wouldn't know about that.
No, we don't know anything about that.
No idea.
We get demonetized on YouTube every single stream.
Yep.
So like I had a couple episodes that we put out on YouTube just for people to know what the show was.
Okay.
And then so we would broadcast the show live, in which would obviously it's live, so you're gonna get the weird stuff, the bloopers, the scuff, the whatever in between,
Right.
the banter. And you could watch it on the channel live, but then it would immediately get pulled off. We'd take the VOD and everything,
Mhm.
so you couldn't watch the VOD. It gets sent to my editor, they edit it down, and then it would go on Patreon.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So people that were not patrons would still be able to enjoy the show, if they only caught it specifically on that
If
Saturday.
they watch it live, yeah.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Well, everybody,
great.
Yeah.
everybody, check that out. I guess we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. It's been a solid 2 hours. I think this might be the longest podcast we've done.
Mm-hmm.
This has been a bunch of firsts.
Yeah.
Tonight, a bunch of firsts.
Pumpkin, I can't thank you enough for taking the time to come and hang with Justin and I
course.
and let us ask
Of
you a bunch of
course.
questions. We
It's fun
really
hanging out.
we really do appreciate the fact that you enjoy our content and
I do very much.
We
so.
like that you like us.
we like that you like us. We
I
appreciate
like that you like my content. Thank you very much, fellow creator on the
Yes.
platform.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I also want to take a moment to thank all of your community that came over to give us new follows this evening and subscribe to our channel and even come into our chat and say hello.
I might have elbowed you in the Discord a little bit.
Yeah. Hey,
Yeah,
what's
well,
going on over here? Yeah.
We appreciate that. Thank you very much. So
Well deserved.
Everybody go check out Pumpkin Potion. She's incredible and her content's
I'll
incredible.
link to the YouTube in here.
Yeah, we'll give you. We're gonna.
So
put
if you
some
want to
links
go
in chat.
check out, if anybody wants to go check out, Tuned In, I think you get the first 6 episodes.
Yeah, you get the first couple episodes. They're still on there.
Yeah, so there's some on there if you want to go check it out. I'll put the YouTube channel in le chat. There it is.
Thank you. I
Enjoy
appreciate that.
yourselves, everybody. Chat and
Pumpkin, is there somebody that you could recommend to us to raid this evening? Is there somebody that's on?
To raid into.
Yeah. Is there any suggestion that you have?
Let's see. Who is online on my list today? I don't know.